computer.
Happy birthday to us.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday.
Still.
Still.
To this day.
to this day. That's right, girl. I like the energy, the hell. All right, so, hey, everybody, it's Lee, and this is Let Us Say It For You.
Mike in his house.
Big Mike in his house. And as you saw from our lovely rendition, it is our birthday.
Still.
Born on March 6th. It's a few days past that now, but who's gonna say something to us? Nobody. Ain't nobody finna check me by my birthday. So I would like to say, Micah, happy birthday to you. You look
happy birthday, Leah.
You're flourishing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's one bit of news. The other bit of news that we have not discussed. Maybe you should stand up and turn to the side.
Yeah. Or
she's not that.
Dun, 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 dun. Girl, knocked up.
Micah knocked up, y'all. I'm taking it by myself now for the episode because this bitch don't win. I got pregnant. She don't win. I got pregnant.
Girl, we're taking ginger shots.
Mm-hmm. We taking. Well, I'm taking
real shots.
Yeah, we taking kitty shots. So, congratulations are in order for my nearest and dearest. Also my co-host. Everyone tell Big Mike, good job. Shout out to Willie. Willie been dropping. See, good job for Willie. And now they're having a little bambino. We don't know what it is yet. It's in there. I mean, tell us how you feel, Micah. You're joining the mommy squad. You coming over this side.
So
over here, welcome.
So happy. You have no idea. I'm so excited to be a part of the mommy
squad.
Overjoyed, overwhelmed. Now that I have entered this stage, I feel like there's another level of wisdom I shall enter into.
Oh,
so
Lord.
Cool. Teaching kids, being around kids my whole life, and I finally get my own. Oh,
yep.
She's about to go down. This shit gonna be tired of me. I am excited.
Yes, your child is gonna be tired of you. My child was tired of me. Mia was so tired of taking pictures, bitch. Like, I'm like, you better fucking smile. And now I look at her pictures every year and cry profusely. She is no longer that little baby I once had.
Oh my God! Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
It's gonna go so fast. Blah blah blah. I know, y'all.
Yep. It's gonna go up so fast and all that. So let's linger there for a moment. So is there anything that you're like concerned about, worried about? You tell us a little bit. We talked about it, but share briefly how you've been freaking out and how you finally calmed the fuck down. Or have you really calmed down? Or have you
like... I'm calmed the fuck down. So what it is the moment you become
what it is
everybody got something to say to you about their pregnancy. Everybody got something to say to you about pregnancy in general. And those things are not always encouraging.
Nope.
They're not always positive. They're not always the brighter side of mommyhood. It's always how tired I'm going to be, how the weight's going to take so long to drop off, how my baby may not latch to my breast, how it may be very difficult to acclimate back to any type of life, and how I'm going to lose my life, and how everything's going to be, and then how I might die, and how I may lose my, it's just fucking trauma. Okay, and I'm just like, maybe you shouldn't share that shit with a new mom at the time. We can have this conversation after the baby is here and healthy and we're happy. But leading up to that point, when a woman finds out that she's pregnant, she already has enough shit going on. Let's just start there. Her body's about to change. She's about to carry a human being. There are stages to this little ass fetus, zygote fetus, and then child, and then bigger child, and then a full grown child. Like, it's stuff going on, and all that. And I think what was going on with me is I was having anxiety because I was holding on to past trauma of miscarriages that some of my friends have had, abortions some of my friends have had,
Complications going forward.
Complications in general when people have
Conceiving.
had children and oh Lord, it's like this is too much. This is too much. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I ain't going nowhere. My phone is off. Thank God, honestly, for Leah and Mila.
Call me.
Oh, thank God for Leah and Mila, because listen, it's just been a lot, and trying to not be rude, trying to still be myself and my welcoming and acceptance of everybody's shit. It's a little difficult when I gotta really worry about my physical and my mental life.
Listen, you're gonna slowly see more and more why I am the way I am. Along, because you, like I told you, you just don't have time for it. Like, you're still a human at the end of the day. So regardless of all this other shit, it's like you care about this little fucking thing so much. It's so much, and then you just, you know what? I don't have the mental capacity to deal with anybody's shit today.
I'm gonna
just go.
And one thing, what happened when Leah was pregnant, and I could not wait. I was so excited, crying, jumping every day. All right, what you doing? And I was in Tally at the time, but she found out with me. Yep. So I couldn't effing wait. I was so excited, but she had a similar start. Yeah. Some people were for it, some people weren't. They expressed themselves when I feel like they should just kept that shit to themselves, but they didn't.
Who the fuck asked you?
But they didn't. And, I think the last thing that Leah kept telling me, the last thing that you want to do is tell somebody that you're not sure how they're going to respond, like whether it's going to be negative or not excited or whatever. Just don't tell those people. So obviously in the beginning, it's like, okay, you tell all your close friends, but do you tell all your close friends? No. So you tell one or two, and then you let it fester, go to the doctor to be sure, and then you can start spreading. So that's kind of how I chose to do it. And I think it worked out the best way, doing it that way.
Beautifully.
But yeah, it was a lot in the beginning. And I finally got over it. I talked to my doctor when I went to see her. I was like, and how do you deal with the negativity of pregnancy that people gonna keep throwing at you? She was like, women are the worst.
Oh, Lord.
That women can really be the worst. She was like, we're trying to help, but we don't know how. And we feel the need to share, even when it's not helpful to share. But sharing, it heals them at the same time. And then it also connects them to you. So she was like, it's like this fine line between I feel connected to you, but then also I didn't like how my situation went.
Right.
And now I have to put it on you because this is how I felt. So they're projecting in a sense. Yeah. When it's not the best. She was like, they need therapy. I say that to a lot of people.
Bitch, that's what I be saying.
She said those people who tend to share more negative than positive, they didn't have anybody to talk to. And they're still hung up on the way their pregnancy was.
Yeah.
Still not happy of how it went. And the baby may be 7. The baby may be 16, and they still hung up on the way they pregnancy went. They was just, it just was, they never got over it. They never talked about it or whatever. So she said, you can definitely give them the, hey, I really appreciate you for sharing, but I'm just not in the right space to take this in. Can we do this another time?
Stick a pin in it. Come back.
That's nice. I said, okay, cool. She was like, I was like, 'cause I don't like cutting people off, and I don't want to be like, can you please stop sharing your very most vulnerable whatever? Because you just don't know. They need to say it. And I know how people need to vent. I know how important that is, but it's a time and a place,
right?
To do so. So when I finally figured out how to take myself out of that equation, how to just listen to the positive, how to listen to my own voice, listen to my body and all that stuff, I was like, you know what?
I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right. And then obviously going to the doctor and seeing Jit turn up, I was like, oh, I am definitely pregnant. That's
a little fucking mover and groover in there, eh?
Oh, my Jit is active AF. So I was like, that's all I really needed. The second doctor's visit is all I really needed for real. So I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah, and I think just with what you said, because I never thought about that. Like in just one situation I heard where somebody just told me, like, when I heard negative stories while I was pregnant, it didn't affect me at all. Like I was fine. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because I literally watch shit like this all day. Like not all, but a lot of the terrible things that can happen during pregnancy. Freakish, just, I'm very weird. I've always known how to read sonograms. Like I've been somebody mama for a long time. So it didn't affect me a certain kind of way, but I think people also aren't mindful. It's not even a you thing. They're just doing like what you said. They just want to talk about it, or they want to share their story, or oh, your mommy thing. So this is how my mommy thing went, because that is kind of a common thing. If you went to the same school, we both went to fam together. Oh, what was your experience with fam? We both are in a sorority. We both want to talk about the sorority.
Right.
Is like a little sorority. Oh, we're moms now. Well, this is how my mom thing went. And I even do it where it's like, I'm so ready to just tell you. I'm the one that's telling you all the positives. It's like, bro, take as many pictures as you can, because it's just like, oh my God, all I do is cry. Like I posted Mia's baby picture yesterday and started crying, bitch. Like it's really bad. But people aren't really mindful either of the fact that, like, the advice that scary stories that somebody might say to me, I've already had a child. I've gone through that. It's a lot freakier for a first-time parent who ain't been pregnant, don't know what the fuck to expect, and it's like, okay, bitch, like, and I didn't even think.
What do you say? Like,
Yeah, and I do see you. So, what's the well-adjusted? You can handle pretty much everything, but it's, to me, it's almost like it's so instinctual. It's so basic of, you're a mother protecting your child, and it's just scary. Like it's just that simple. It doesn't even have to be more complicated than that. So having to process all that, I'd say you're doing a pretty good job. And yeah, my biggest thing is, like, being pregnant is stressful enough. It'll get better if you're sick. I was sick-ish. You don't really get sick like that. So you're having a luckier one than most. Pregnant is just a process enough. So my advice to Micah, and I give this to all pregnant women, if you're currently pregnant, just enjoy it. It's such a nice time, like, and enjoy all the love that you're getting. Like everywhere you go, once they notice the bump, everyone is so fucking nice. It's just like, you want to sit down? Oh, you're beautiful. You're glowing.
Listen,
it's so nice.
Me and Willie went to a sub shop, and we got like 2 combos, sis. And he only charged Willie for a burger. We ain't even get no burger.
He's stupid, but
so then he was like, I'm just gonna charge him for this. So Willie was like, okay, shit. So he paid. It was $11. It was supposed to be almost $40. He paid $11 today, and he was like, babe, you're glowing. It's probably because of you. I was like,
it is.
Me.
It is. It is. And like Micah mentioned earlier, the beginning of my pregnancy was a rocky one, because yes, I was encouraged slightly and from certain aspects to not have the whatever. And it was just a lot. And so, it was the Micahs, and it was really like my grandma. My grandma went the fuck off. She was like, how many women trying to get pregnant, they can't get pregnant? And stop playing. And she said this in a very Jamaican way, but I was just trying to adjust it for you folks. And she's here. She's 8, and she's working my fucking nerves, but that's my baby. So my baby is having a baby. Her shirt says baby. We are very happy. Speaking on behalf of our audience and all our friends, we are so happy for you. Girl, I cry right now. I wear my eyes getting tingly, bitch. I've cried so much, y'all. It's been ridiculous. Y'all don't understand how long I've been wanting a baby in my life. And I haven't gotten pregnant, and none of my friends have been pregnant. I've been the only mom in our immediate circle for 8 years now, and no 9. So shit, Mia's gonna be 9 before your child is born, unless you have a baby early. So it's gonna be 9 years of being in the game by myself. But welcome, bitch.
9 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's lit. So shout out to Michael Mike. Happy birthday to us. It's still our birthday right now. We don't give a fuck. Let me see. There's so many things to talk about. It's like we were just so behind. It's been a while. Okay, we were talking about what we talked about the other day, living single, different world, stuff like that. So we'll do New Girl. We'll do the first part. Just feel good shows. Remember what we said about New Girl?
Yeah.
What we were saying about New Girl.
So I don't know if I started because I was watching Living Single, but then we started talking about feel good shows. Like, there's not a lot of feel good shows, like the show that you can watch at any time of any day when either you had a bad day. This is the first show you watch because you know you're gonna be laughing. The jokes is on point, the friendships, the relationships, everything is just light as fuck. And it's just, yes, sometimes it makes you think and sometimes it's relatable to your life, but most times it's just easy to watch and fun and it makes you feel good. And so I was like, the show that both of us really, really like is called The New Girl on Netflix. If you have not watched that show, bro, this shit's funny.
It's funny. It's very funny.
It's funny. It's funny. I'm so mad they stopped it. But that's a feel-good show that I feel no matter what you're going through, and I feel like it's relatable to everybody to some degree. Like, I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it. I can't really name a lot of sitcoms on right now.
Me neither, bitch. I can't name like one.
Can you name any? Like,
no.
Like on TV, and obviously, I mean, Leah has cable, but she don't really watch cable like that. But only certain shows you watch cable, but not for real.
And rare, like hardly, like all.
That's what I'm saying. We don't really watch cable like that no more.
Yeah, not anymore.
Cause like, yeah, everything is like on Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Stars. But they not feel good. They drama filled. Like I would even say Insecure. Yeah. But that ain't really a feel good show.
It's just a good show.
It's a good show. It's too relatable. It gets you upset. It gets you upset about your shit.
Is that my child's father? My child's father has arrived with my child. Let me open the door and tell him to leave me alone. Sing a song, like sing.
Hello, sing a song. Sing a song. Oh man.
Yeah, come talk to you.
Sing a song.
Okay. Yeah. So when Michael was talking about the feel good show, my feel good show, or a show that when I watch it just to feel nice, is A Different World. Like old ass A Different World.
Right.
Always. I'm gonna throw this dog outside. This show always gives me major feels. Whitley and Dwayne has always been just like a for me.
Yeah,
so
I know.
The show is A Different World if I could ever find it. But a lot of the shit I watch most of the time is literally investigative discovery. Coming home at 4:00 at night.
So annoying.
Yeah, I watch this shit a lot, so it doesn't help my paranoia. But when I say I am a cautious bitch, I am that. Okay. So yeah. So from there we trailed off to just like the show Girlfriends. So Micah was telling me, oh, we got to watch it again. And we watched Girlfriends and we were like, what, 11? 12.
They got no business, don't know nothing going on.
Don't know shit that's going on, right? But Micah rewatched it like maybe 2-3 months ago and she was like, bruh, you need to watch Girlfriends again. I was like, I've seen it. She's like, I know, but we need to watch it now. Like, you need to watch it now as right. And literally I told Micah, I said, bitch, I got through the first 15 minutes of that show and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Exactly of a relationship that I recently terminated, if you will. And it's just like, man, but what I was saying to Mikey is what's so refreshing about stuff like that? Because she called me about a joke in Living Single, just something that sounds like
that show.
Right. And what I said to her is I was like, I guess the feel good part about these is just that this shit happened these shows are like over 20 years old. Right? And they're going through the exact same fucking things we're going through right now. Joan and her dating, Joan and Tony and they fucked up friendship, living single and just the living single shit, whatever. It's like, we're going through this right now. So to me, I feel like this should make people feel good because it doesn't matter how the tides have changed or whatever. People in 30s, they still going through the same shit, but you ain't the only one that can't find a man. None of us find a man. Michael, the only one. Okay, not everyone just had kids and it worked out. Because I have a few friends that are like 32, 34, and they're just like, I never thought I'd be this age, and I'm still not married and I'm still not pregnant. And I was like, well, bitch, 20-something years ago, neither could fucking Maxine or whichever one they is on Living Single. They was confused too, Confused. It's so nice to see that full circle. And I think if anything, I feel like it should give people hope that you're not the only one going through shit like this. Whatever those little things may be. And I'll never tell somebody how to feel about them, because certain things affect people differently. But they were going through it. And like I said to Michael too, these have to be common enough things for them to make a whole episode about, you know what I'm saying, about these type of things. These are real current things that people our age just go through. And it shouldn't be something that you, it should hopefully give you peace just to know that this is a common thing. You're not the only one going through it. If that, if that helps get you through it.
And then the fact that I said, so living single, different world, girlfriends, hanging with Mr. Cooper, in the house, like there was, I throw the Cosby Show in there, sorry. But there were countless shows, and representation matters so much.
Yes.
The African American community. And I said to Leah the other day when I was finna go off about some crack shit. It's only been 56 years since we've been segregated.
It
like
ain't
if
been
you
that long,
think about it, 56, and it could be 50. It's between 54, 58. I'm not doing the math right now. But literally, y'all, an old person ago, Leah's mom ago, right? Leah's mom ago, they had signs that said whites only, blacks only. That shit just ended. I'm gonna say just. So the fact that they had shows in the 90s, which was what, 30 years ago, right? 30 years ago, bruh, that were representing Black people in a different light, like working and careers and married and children and thriving, lawyers, doctors, like that shit mattered. And then and they always say the 90s era was the best for the economics for Black families, right? We were thriving. And I think representation has a lot to do with that. If you think about all the shit that we watch now, even like, to be honest, it's hard for me to watch like Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's hard for me to watch Love and Hip Hop because I started feeling bad for our community. I'm like, bro, this cannot be what we have come to.
This cannot be our future.
I know that it's the hip hop community. I know that. So I have to digress. It's not, but they do represent Black people. Because if a person hops on the television, they're not going to say, ooh, only the hip hop people. They're going to say,
it's Black. It's Black.
They're just going to group us, right? And so it's hard for me to watch those shows. They have a reunion out, and I think they have therapy on there. They're like rekindling,
it was like some type of I watched Love Hip Hop, but I haven't seen.
It's a family reunion.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't.
So Willie had it on the TV. I was like, okay, I can deal with this, because they had Black Lives Matter. Like they had a speech about what they have to do to actually step up and step in. You know what I'm saying? Like they have this money. What can they do to blah blah blah? So it's a lot of progressive talk, which is cool. But living single and girlfriends in all different worlds, it just reminds me of a progressive community. And watching those shows, it just makes you feel that like there's hope, right? Like we can get back to this. Like this is cool. We know how to love. We know how to treat each other. We know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like make business work and go to college and graduate or get a trade or get a business or whatever. So when I was watching Living Single, I had to call Leah because, like she said, it was just some shit in there that we do right now to this day. Something would happen and we're impulsive and we have to change something when we can't. Piercing. When going on that we cannot change. The only thing that we need to change, tattoo. Okay. Tattoo. Piercing. Okay. Not your hair. Like it has to happen, bro. It has to happen.
Mia, come here.
And that's why I have so many tattoos to this.
Come say hi real fast. You can't be in here. Since she came in, crawled slowly. So you make
Hey,
girl. Hey. All right. Kids, mommy love is good to see you. Sure. But be quiet. And close my bathroom door and don't come back in here. I love you so much. Goodbye.
Don't come back in here.
Don't come back. She started laughing. Okay. Close the door.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
It's not closed. I still see
she closed the other one. Okay. I'm gonna close this one, fucking kids.
I still see it.
Well, yeah, but impulsive. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can go on and on about the countless relatable things, but TV ain't really relatable for us no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just the entertainment. It's just sad. It's just drama. It's just this is not a reflection of my life today, but okay, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's true, because that's something that even a lot of reality stars who end up leaving or they got beef with whomever, whatever, they always try to make that point. Oh, they just always do this to make us look away and da, 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 da. And the bottom line is I don't negate any of that. But the bottom line, these are the shows that you guys sign up for. And no one is, they will, from my understanding, a lot of these things are more scripted than not, as much as they call it reality. They put me and a bitch I don't like in a situation on purpose. And if I want my checks to still be the way I want them to be, I'm gonna pop off like I was talking the same shit I was talking on IG. When I see you, how it's on site, I'm gonna drag your ass. I gotta do it because this is what I said I was gonna do. So it just gets, I think, when people do go off about that, like I remember my ex that just came by when we were still together and I used to watch it. He's like, why do you watch stuff like this? This stuff isn't even real. Da, da, da. It's just all fake. Anyway, I said, I mean, then what's the difference between this and fucking Walking Dead? That shit's scripted. We know that's fake. It's scripted as hell. I don't care one way or another. This shit doesn't influence me. And it's something that I watch in front of my kid. I watch it when Mia go to sleep. Or I watch it on bedtime. I try to
right.
Positive imagery around my child. But it is unfortunate. There are so many of us that are guided by what we see on TV. And yes, it's important to look like you're a bazillionaire, you making money, you doing all this. From my understanding, most of them people on Love and Hip Hop and all that, the ones that don't have actual careers like that anymore, they're poor as fuck. Like they get maybe like $2,000 if they make it on an episode. And I would love $2,000, but I also don't have that image to uphold. You get what I'm saying? Like we in my room right now. Like there's nothing that I have to kind of portray just in order to keep my stock up. So it's like, it's unfortunate that that's the case, but you got people like Micah who don't watch it. You got people like me that watch it, don't care one way or another. And then you do the ones that watch it and just think that this is a reflection of us all. And it's just unfortunate. I don't think we should be grouped that way, but Micah is right. We are. They don't see it as rappers or the rappers' mamas. It's just black. It's just
this is how black people operate. They don't know how to talk to each other. They always snapping.
They don't know how to talk to each other.
They finna throw a drink.
And that's a for sure. That's a for sure. I've heard celebrities that been on there. That have been on reality shows. They said things like, "I'll be sitting there talking to Mike, and they'll just put like 3 cups of water like in front of me and Michael." Because me and Micah beefing. So before I even come in there, it's 3 cups of water. It's only 2 of us. Why the fuck is 3 cups of water up here? Because the bottom line is, I'm gonna throw this one, and then I'm gonna throw this one. I'm gonna throw another one because it's unfortunate. But it doesn't really affect me one way or another. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, all right. So we also after that we trailed off on just like people who become doctors, just kind of like working and you aim to be this in life. But then it's like, are you intentional about actually living, or do you just spend every second of every day to become the doctor or to become the whatever? Because truthfully, if you want one of these prestigious jobs, you're saving lives, you know what I mean? Or you're a scientist or anything that you got to go to school for a long time for, to be honest. It's like these people do, like their dedication to that shit is different. You get, I got a test I'm supposed to study for. I ain't picked that book up yet. Like their dedication is different. But then it's kind of like, it's just so sad because it's like, even in aiming to be this type of person or aiming to be this in life, you have to actively, it's so funny because this came up the other night when I went out to the birthday dinner, you have to actively be intentional about also living your life. Because as fucked up as it is, you can literally just die tomorrow. I can die just stepping outside my door for whatever reason. So there's so many freakishly crazy things there. So you got to find that balance. We were just talking about the balance between putting in the hard work to become what it is you want to become, but also living and enjoying things, because you really just never know. And it's like, just live to die. We're working just to die. We're working just to pay bills so we can die one day.
That's crazy.
Such a sad existence.
Life ain't supposed to be like that.
Yeah, it can't be. And then I think it's shit like that when people sit there, people who get like certain type of mental depression moments, something like that. If you really sit there and think about that shit, it's depressing as fuck.
It is.
As fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What did it go? Sorry.
So, what made us talk about that was there's different characters on the show that everybody can relate to, right? You have the Jones of the world, who they know from jump they're gonna be a lawyer or a doctor, and guess what? They become a lawyer and a doctor. That's right. What they do. And then you have the Lens of the world, who are passionate. They got hella degrees. They smart. They go to school, but they have not found something that they want to dedicate for the rest of their life because they're so passionate,
so free,
and they don't want to do shit that ain't got nothing to do with their passion, right? And then you have the people who are in and out of these careers that are just like, oh, well, do I want to go back to school? No. Do I want to do this? So everybody is always at odds at something. But I said there's always those people who, no matter what, when they get here, they know they finna be a nurse. Mm-hmm. There's no sidetracking. There's no
ifs, ands, or buts, right? They just go.
I'm gonna, because everybody else in my family is a nurse, or nobody in my family is a doctor, so I'm gonna be the doctor. Like you got people like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and even going to college, I'm gonna be the first to go to college, and they go. So, at what point does all of that happen and you start to live? Because they're sacrificing something, right?
And it was the families. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
like, you don't have a family.
You're sacrificing something. You get to this point. Are you really happy though? You did everything that you said you was gonna do, which is amazing. But along the way, what do you really have? They always say it's not about the any destination, it's about the journey. How the fuck was your journey? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you love? Did you live? Did you explore? What did you do on your way to where you were supposed to go? You know what I'm saying? And so one can say, well, fuck that. I was waiting until I got there to enjoy whatever I had to enjoy. I just had to get that out the way. So they sacrifice a different part of their life. But guess what? You're 35 and you're a woman. Your biological clock has probably ticked off.
I'm about to say it's tick, boom, don't you?
It's ticking. The men come and go, I'm pretty sure, throughout the career. No one's stuck. So you're not married or even dating anyone seriously. You know, you look around and all your friends have someone to love, some group. I don't know. They just have things that you just don't have. Mm-hmm. But you have the security, and they have stuff that you don't have, and you have stuff that they don't. And that stuff is financial security, to be real. Mm-hmm. Financial security. Probably
nicer things if you're somebody that cares about nicer
generational
things.
Wealth, pick up and go mentality. You can pay for anything. You can go out to eat. You the one, you know what I'm saying, picking up the check. There's things that you have. But at the end of the day, like, is you happy?
Happy? Is you happy? Go. No, that is too funny, Micah.
So I get it. And so that's somewhere along the line.
And that's where we got the mind. And that's, I guess, where the conversation came up, and we decided to talk about it on here, because it's like, it's true. It's like, it shouldn't be a situation where you should have to sacrifice starting a family and going on.
Yeah, why you can't have
just to be a successful person. But I think that depends on you. If I wanted to be a doctor, if you're going to school to be a doctor, you want to be to be a lawyer, or you're going to be an architect, or you're going to do something that requires a lot of dedication. The whole point is to, in the midst of that, if this is something that you want, you have to be intentional. So you intentionally make sure you're still living. You don't have to splurge. You don't have to go crazy. But life is just so short. Like, I've been saying that for like most of my life, and it didn't click the most until Dorothy passed. Rest in peace, Dorothy. She was young. Dorothy was our age. She was like 2 years older than us, 2-3 years older than us, but she died at 24 from cancer. She was turning 25 or something like that. And so she was so young. And even now, like, we're 31, and we're just thinking, like, life is so short to just be so, bogged down with the burden of creating this. I'm a mother. Micah's pregnant now, so Micah's a mother. And it's a situation where we have somebody to leave something for. So this makes the work even better. But at the same time, I want my kid to go to Aruba. Like, let's go to Aruba. I want you to see what the fuck Aruba's like.
Right.
So in the midst of me working to create this wealth and leave something behind for my kid, I also want to leave by good memories with my kid. I want to remember that time we went to Jamaica and she climbed a tree. Little things like that just kind of make life worth living. You don't want to be that person that's just living to die. You're just working to die.
Working to live.
But then you also don't want to be the motherfucker who never really did shit. around chilling because and honestly, for some people, maybe they don't give a fuck.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe this is only something, or maybe this is something that goes more so for the overachievers, the people who want to leave something behind or want to be known for something.
Yeah.
That, well, you need to also be intentional on living as well and enjoying, you know, the fruits of your labor and enjoying the benefits of what you do while you can enjoy them to the fullest. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't be something that you should have to waver, but it's unfortunate that so many times that's the case. And I think that's the case with, I won't say it's not the case with men, but I would say it's a bigger issue for us because we have a certain age where we can't make kids anymore.
Right.
A certain age where our biological clock is ticking. I would like to think at this point, it should be higher than 35 when it just seems like all hell is going to break loose. But I think that's just when they get extra cautious with you. My mom had my sister at 36. There's a lot of women having kids at 40. So it doesn't really mean, it just means you got to go to a lot more doctor visits. That's mainly it. But
notice they see your baby early.
True, because they take extra tests early. So it's like they do all this extra shit just to make sure you're okay and make sure the baby's okay, because it's just life. It's just the circle of life. You hit a certain age, and if you don't, your kid has a higher like chance of just being born with Down syndrome or something like that. These are all the things that we have to process, along with making sure we're okay and making sure we take care of family if that's what we're doing, or take care of a nigga if that's what we're doing, or making sure we are a prize for some lovely man to have, you know, because this is how most women are raised. We're raised to be good wives and such. So in the process of doing all that, you know, you fucking blink 3 times, bitch, and you 36. And you like,
yeah.
I don't even understand. And I have friends that say that to me. They're like, you know, Lee, you already had your kid. I had my daughter at 22. And like, you know, you already had your kid. And I was like, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I did. She had. So, hey, if I don't get another one out of this. But I'm very happy that I have the one. You just seen her.
Right.
So that's, I guess, our message to you guys. Be intentional. Be intentional about living, even in the midst of your goals. Women, we should not have to. And it's always a big thing on us, because jobs even shun hiring us sometimes just on the strength of, oh my gosh, when she gets pregnant, I'm going to have.
She's in her prime.
Yeah.
Hiring 28 to, what is it? 24 to 31 is a risk or something like that.
Yeah, because it's like, if I get pregnant on maternity leave, you
have to pay her for that.
You got to pay me. So it's like, I feel like dealing with this bitch out here trying to reproduce.
That's so bad.
It's so fucked up, but it is a reality. And so it's just, women, I feel for us, and I don't ever want you to sacrifice. If a family is what you want, sis, I've encouraged a few of my friends. I'm not saying just have a baby anywhere, but I'm team, if you want kids, have kids. You know what I'm saying? My kid is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I've always wanted kids. I love her so much. Micah's going through all the processes of it. When she finally, you know, pushes it out, it's going to be like, whoa, look at that.
God.
I made this.
Hurry up.
Thing. Oh my God. We have so long to go. I feel
so much time.
Like 3 days pregnant. But
everybody's birthday is going to pass. Everybody in our circle's birthday is going to pass.
Yep.
Except Bree. Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, that's so funny. This is stuff. Okay, so I was high last night, right? I ate an edible. I had a leftover edible from when I went to Vegas for my birthday, and I was talking. I went out to dinner, so we were talking, and it was like I saw a question come up, and it was like, "Who's finer, Obama or Malcolm X?" And I was like, "Damn, they both kind of fine." I don't know. They more on the light skin side.
Malcolm X.
Light skins no more.
You know what's funny?
But Malcolm X was fine.
When I look at Obama, I don't see a fine ass man. He's handsome to me.
True.
Like, Obama is so handsome. I don't sexualize Obama. I sexualize Malcolm X. Okay. Sorry.
Give us your vote. Rest in peace, Malcolm. Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, thanks, Malcolm. But he definitely could get it.
Oh, okay. Who's finer, Malcolm X or Denzel when he played Malcolm X? Denzel
was fine, but that red
hair. I don't like Denzel like that.
It was throwing me off. His red hair was throwing me off, so I'm gonna still go for the
lighter brown, right?
It was, yeah. I'm gonna go for the real one still.
Okay. So on this came up last night in my midst of my high ass conversation. So I I was talking to Stretch last night. No, this is when I got home. I was talking to Stretch. So he was just talking about, you know, somebody he likes or whatever and how fine she is. Da, 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 da. And I was like, but see, that's the thing. Like, I thought about shows like Married. The one you got had me watching when people just get married and they don't know.
Oh, yeah. Married. Right.
And so my thing to him is I was like, you know, yes, looks aesthetically is obviously an attraction for most people, but people often fall for the way somebody looks and they aren't compatible. They just don't fucking get along. Hence, you know, things crumble to shit. But then you get situations like that TV show where they did all this shit. They took all the smart people that are good at figuring out relationships and whatever, and put these people together. And it's like, this is supposed to be a match. And then these things don't kind of work out either. And then so it's almost kind of like, while people say how much it looks really matter, it's like, do we put too much weight on that? Do we, I guess, tough it through shit that we don't like just because I like people to know that I'm with Micah because Micah's fine and Micah is like Micah ups my like price almost. I'm with somebody that other people want.
Upgrade.
More attainable. I'm also with somebody that's attainable. And so it's like, fuck everything else. It's like, what are people looking for anymore? Because my thing, I want a motherfucker I can get along with. No, you can't be ugly as fuck, but at the same time, being good is not what's gonna make me feel like, oh my gosh, this is it. I want to be with him. I want to like you. I want to.
Princess. You know what's funny? Like with what? Okay, another thing that's funny is randomly thought of. I have a very different taste from all my friends. I think we all have very different tastes. I don't think we have never liked the same nigga, like for real.
Not for real.
Maybe thought it was cute, but I think we all have different tastes. But every time I date a guy in the past, I didn't even, if I have this like overwhelming whatever the fuck, I don't even care what people think about what he looked like.
Oh, it's my little boo,
yeah, and so even when I was talking to this boy, he was not cute, and I know that. I knew it. He was not cute. I knew it. I'm like, he is not cute, but he is nice. You know
the ex I had that's like that. Every time I look at him, I was like, bruh, you must have been in love. Like, I loved him so much.
But then he wasn't even that bad.
But I mean, she wasn't that cute either, bitch.
He wasn't that bad. But I feel you. For what you usually go for.
I usually date.
Yes. Okay. But honestly, what the stuff we've been hearing, the older we got, if you date an ugly man, he's gonna treat you right. If you date a Haitian man, he gonna treat you right, whatever. But the whole ugly situation, he's gonna adore you. He's gonna admire you. He's gonna worship the feet. The path that you walk on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think inevitably you want somebody you're attracted to. I don't think they have to be cute,
fine as fuck,
or fine. But you have to. The pussy gotta pop for that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It just has to pop. And I think everybody knows what that feels like. When you look at a guy, because I've dated a couple of guys that it just wasn't popping for. And I'm just like, oh, but he was really attractive. So what's that about?
Right.
He's fine as fuck. And I'm like,
no popping here.
I don't know what it is. And sex appeal.
I don't know what it is.
But sex appeal is so important to me. Oh my gosh. Sex appeal and confidence and of the physique of a man. And I feel like some men don't carry themselves like they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not attractive. You can be fine as fuck. If you don't carry yourself like you that nigga, I don't want it.
Well, and I think what I just talked to you about, we're going to touch on it a little bit after this, but what I talked to you about with the one that I am kind of leaning towards more than I expected to at this point.
Right.
That's the side that I'm seeing of them now. It's just like,
attractive.
Like it's a done deal. We meant to be like, look, we get along. We like this. He's like, these other niggas, I'm making it hard for him. And I'm just like, no, you're not. But I was like, oh, he really is. Like,
but you are.
Like this nigga like this. It's very fucking annoying. But he's doing a good job. He has a confidence to him that is attractive. And to me, that says something too about confidence with women, because that's something that, you know, as fine as all the women are, whatever, as well adjusted as I seem to be, insecurities pop up all the time when it comes to stuff. So it's when the insecurities are very limited that y'all need to be careful. And I'm not gonna lie, they're getting smaller and smaller. I don't know who the fuck.
Yeah, they say that about really pretty women. You know, don't trust pretty women because they're insecure.
They're insecure as hell.
Don't trust pretty women because they got other shit going on. Yeah, she bad as fuck, but just something's going on up there.
So for what you were saying, then that goes to say that we seem to feel the same way. Like I said, I've dated guys that now looking back at them, it's just like, oh, he wasn't that cute at all. What was that?
I don't think we do that.
We don't do that.
But I know someone who will not date a nigga unless he looks like a certain way. Like she's not gonna date a nigga that doesn't wear J's. She's not gonna date a nigga that doesn't have some type of dress code. He has to wear cologne. He has to be tall, and she's not fucking with it like at all. And she's like that. And I feel like she be getting the same type of niggas because she won't get out of that. Yeah. She won't get out of that. And it's like, okay, yeah, I think everybody's entitled to have a type. I do. But at the same time, is your type working for you? I don't know.
Okay. Like who likes you? Oh, people say it all the time. How you feel about it?
I don't like that.
I said it to Micah, but I want her to tell y'all.
I don't like that because it sounds like, okay, I might as well just settle for being loved and
that's what it sounds like.
And not loving. You just want me to settle to be loved because ultimately you think that's what I want. That's what I want. I want to be loved and taken care of. It don't matter how I feel about it. That's why people, get betrothed. It's not about love. It's about the financial relationship we about to have between our families. Right. I don't care how y'all feel about each other. Y'all just gonna make this shit work. But bro, I don't want to be with somebody who I honestly don't like that shit. I don't like when I feel that somebody admires me to the point where they're losing themselves. That I don't like that. There's a certain weirdness, a certain CSI-ness to that shit that I'm just not fucking with.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that. It when someone gets lost in you, they don't know who they are. That is scary.
It is.
Don't get lost in me.
Yeah, please.
No,
don't
please.
Stay found all the time. So for me, I like Micah's point, and I essentially agree with Micah, but there's bits that I take from it. So to me, this is the breakdown. I feel like Micah will probably agree. I agree, like who likes you. So my thing is, for my book, the book it's around here somewhere. I got it on digital copy, and every time I get single or I'm going through something, I read it. It's called Single's Not a Curse by Tony Gaskin. Love that fucking book. And the book, in the beginning of it, it just goes down this list of things where it's like, think about your last relationship. Name all the things you didn't like about him, whatever. I don't think I actually did it full out, but the point of it is women always want, theoretically, women typically want, he's tall, he's six figures, he's this. Whereas the men like that, they don't want us.
They don't want y'all.
Bitches that look about this big, they're, or maybe they thick as fuck. I don't know, but they have an ideal type for them.
Less ambitious.
Yes, and women have an ideal type for them.
Yeah.
And it's like we go more so based off that and how it looks to be next to somebody like this and what it says about me being able to secure such a handsome partner. Like it's so primal almost. It's crazy. Like animals do shit like this. You're safer when you're with the biggest one. You know what I mean? Do this. Like this whole dick measuring contest, beating your chest. It's such a animalistic thing.
We are animals.
And we are. And I think when you take it back and make it that simple, it's just like at the end of the day, I'm deciding to put more effort into people that are coming to me and giving me the reactions I want. Not necessarily who it is I may or may not choose, which I don't be choosing. Like I don't go out looking for these niggas, they just show up. And then I kind of just get the pick of the litter. I want that one.
Yep.
And give me that one too. Let me see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's like when a man is trying to date you, he's doing all the things that work based on whatever it is you like. Then see if it works with him. The simple notion of us, and it's like I'm doing the same thing and expecting a different result is
insanity.
Right? Because it's like and I've done this so many times. I've dated so many exes over and over again. I've kept trying to make it work with people who have shown me indirectly, directly, so many ways how much they don't give a fuck. And I've sat there trying to force these fucking pieces together that just don't work. And I don't know what type of epiphany I had. Micah summed it up to, I'm finally becoming like a legit Pisces, because Micah's like my fucking role model. I don't even understand. Shout out. Cookie's like that too. Like the way Micah and Cookie are, they're like the same with their logic when it comes to this stuff. And it's like, I swear it has not clicked until like last week, 2 weeks ago. It's just like, man, I'd say a little bit longer, but it's like, I've just been feeling so differently about things. And it just seems so simple. It's like, oh, it makes so much sense. Like,
it's supposed to be simple.
It's supposed to be simple. You know, so I am team, you know, like who likes you, but not along the lines of forcing it. My thing is, I never wanted I don't need a 6-figure guy. I don't need, I talked about that I was on Practice Starts Monday podcast. Shout out to those guys. And on that, we talked about it. And, you know, it was MJ, I believe. MJ was going off about, well, he was coming to me on some, okay, but you want a 6-figure guy. I said, my thing is, I don't need him to be 6 figures, but he needs to make as much as I make or very close to it. I don't make 6 figures, but I make a good living. You can't make like $50,000 less than me. And I don't know how this is going to work. What else do you do?
Yeah.
Need this type of financial
ability,
thing. Yeah. Because that's what I'm looking for. But he doesn't have to be 6 figures. So then Burns' thing was, okay, well, a garbage man. What if he's a garbage man? And he makes $80,000 a year, but that's his job. I was like, that's fine.
He's a fucking garbage man.
Yeah. I'm
that's an honest job.
I was like, I'm cool with that. So it's like, that's the other thing too. If my mindset was more so on wanting to look a certain kind of way, I'm with a lawyer, then yeah, I don't really give a fuck about that though. I want a man. Ultimately, my number one is a man that I can get along with. And right next to it, he needs to just be equally yoked with me when it comes financially. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I need it to be comparable, because I don't want money. I stress over money if I don't have it. If I don't have money, I don't feel like fucking, I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like doing shit. I need to know where my money is. So I don't want money to be a concern of mine. There's so many other fucking things that will come up in life that we got to worry about. I don't want money to be one. Let's let our finances, because that's literally the number one reason why couples break up anyway. So let's start off on the right foot. I don't want to start there. I want to start with somebody who knows how to save, understands what the fuck credit is. Let's do this, and then we'll take on the rest of the world by storm. So I think it's kind of like that. It's like, man, I'm giving effort. And then even in just spending a little time with people, which again, remember, I'm somebody who doesn't date at all. I do now, but I didn't before. And spending times in dating, I just feel like I'm learning all the little things Mike has been saying to me for like fucking the 56 years we've known each other. Man, this is what this bitch was talking about. Oh, this is what the fuck she was talking about. I said to Micah today, I said, bro, like, I wish I was like this years ago. We would have been running the streets, bro. If you would have been so we could just be outside for like a month. And then, but she pregnant as fuck, man. We can't be outside with the fittest, you know? We can't be outside just winging it. But it's just it's so simple, it's stupid almost. And there's just so many things I'm processing, but it's such a freeing. And it's something that I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I encourage women to get this notion of like, you're the prize. You're the prize. I don't know why the fuck we would think otherwise. I don't know about many women, but I've never gone after nigga. There's always came after me. They've always pursued me. So why in the midst of that, somehow we let this reverse psychology, if they fucked up people, or just our own insecurities or whatever it is, slowly turn this into us convincing them to be with us type thing. I don't understand how the fuck we got there. I don't know. I don't even know where that location is anymore. I don't reside there. I can't.
Don't.
I ain't over. Like, I don't have. All right. So let's talk. Which one I'm gonna give you first? All right, I'm gonna give you this one. White lady. Her name is Karla Lassiter.
Like catheter.
Yes. Yes. I heard this today. Charlamagne gave her donkey of the day. This little boy, he's 5, little black boy. He came home and he told his mom his teacher made him unclog the toilet, put his bare hands in the toilet where his poopy was to unclog the toilet. She did it. He's 5 and she's a teacher. And I guess he put too much tissue in the toilet. Sounds like a very fucking 5-year-old thing to do. Mine has done it. And she made him use his bare hands to unclog the toilet, touching his shit and tissue and all that. And the little boy went home and told his mom. The mom was like, she made you do what? She called the bitch, and her answer was, I can't even explain why I even did that. I'm just so sorry. That was it.
What? Oh my God. Oh Lord.
Yes, this is a white lady.
She should not be working with kids. This is a prime example of people that should not be anywhere fucking near children.
Mm-hmm.
You miserable, unhappy, disgusting human being. Even lessons, right? A lesson. Somebody spills some milk on the fucking counter because they didn't ask nobody to do it. Kids being kids. I'm finna pour this shit myself. Guess what? Cup fell over, all the milk on the fucking counter. Okay. Okay.
I did that yesterday. I did that yesterday with orange juice, and I'm grown.
And it's like, okay, clean it up. Come on, help mommy or help me. Okay, come here, little Timmy. We're gonna clean this up together. Shit in a toilet.
Bare hands.
That is a disgrace. She should be fired. I'm sorry, bro.
The mom is trying to get her fired. They want her to not be able to teach anymore, blah, blah, blah. The principal called her and the mother, and then the teacher called and she apologized, but she acknowledged doing it. So like the school board is like, she's under investigation. And my thing is, what the fuck are we investigating? She admitted to doing it. She apologized. Just fire her. Like there's nothing else to talk about. And a lot of people feel like, charges should be pressed in some way because this is not safe. You got a kid
conduct
in a fucking toilet. Like there's so many levels to this. It's just like
arm to body,
so much,
hand to mouth, toilet.
5,
dirty as fuck already,
and he's 5. So I mean, that's kindergarten. Mia was sick every other fucking day. And so the grandma is the first one who said something about it, the kid's grandma. And she was like, he's a little black boy, and she was trying to humiliate him in that case because it was like, you did this and cleaned up. But it's like, how as a grown adult? And for me, this is more of an argument. For me, the bigger case, taking the baby out of it, because kids always piss me off. The idea of people doing shit like this to kids piss me off. But this is kind of like police officers, teachers, or whatever. We give these humans these roles of authority in some type of way. And no one ever just sits and just remembers they're still fucking human. This motherfucker that came out here and killed 3 black people today, or shot 4, whatever the fuck, he killed somebody. Because we just gave him this power and we're not acknowledging the fact that he's still human like everybody else. He could still have mental fucking problems like everybody else. He can still get dumped by his girlfriend like anybody else. We give them all this power and then they still do shit like this and we're surprised. And even in her case, you're in a role of authority. You shouldn't be put in roles of authority if you don't know how to handle authority. How the fuck did nothing in your mind as a grown ass woman say, I can't let this fucking 5-year-old put his bare hands in a toilet and move shit in toilet paper?
I cannot believe that.
Like, how the fuck do you do something like that? My bigger question is just like, who the fuck is gonna stop me from going to the school the next day?
Beating her ass.
That's what I'm trying to understand. One of Mia's counselors was taking goldfish out of Mia's bag, like she's putting her hand in Mia's goldfish. What do you guys got for me? She was eating everybody's snacks. Mia told me that casually in kindergarten or first grade, one of them.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
I thought nothing else. Oh bitch. I called that school and went the fuck off. And then it's coming because I was too far. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get after school the next day. And I ended up leaving a voice message on the same after school thing, but for another district or another school. So they transferred me to the one at my school, and I just got a whole bunch of apologies. I said, where is she? Where's she at? Ma'am, I promise we can take care of it. I want to see her. I'd like to talk to her. I'm not gonna beat up in front of the kids. I just want to say what's up. I would like to understand, because Mia was still in her class. So my thing is like, I don't understand how you guys think that's okay. I don't know where the fuck her hands been. Why is she eating the kids' snacks? And the kids are just willingly doing it because they're so fucking young and innocent.
Yeah, they're sharing.
Grown-ass bitch shouldn't be doing that. So they're like, oh, I have this. I have a mango one. So Mia telling me how she used to give her mango applesauce. And she's give her this. And I'm like, why am I feeding this bitch? I went off. And then and the thing is, let me correct it. When these camp people, they're not my age, they're like 18, 19. They're a little bit younger. So I think they're like teens or like maybe even early 20s, maybe. So that gives me a slight second of sympathy, but it's just, to me, it's common sense. And even if it's not common sense, you're going to learn today when it comes to mine.
Right.
That's not how you do stuff. So after I went and said something, the next day, I think, they said they spoke to her that day. And then the next day, we were walking out and I was like, were you okay? Was everything okay today? And so Mia was like, yeah, it's okay. But she came to me and she said, I got her in trouble. I said, she said, what? She said, you got her in trouble? I turned right the fuck around. I went back and I said, where is she? Where is she at? Because I'm finna end up in here today. I was so aggravated. I was gonna beat this little girl up. And I know she had to be number 20. I was gonna drag her ass up and down in school. And they were like, I'm sorry. I was like, I don't want my kid in her class anymore. So you need to work this out, maneuver it. Something needs to be switched. But why the fuck would you think that's a good idea? Yep, listen. Stop.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
As black as I can.
So there is a term, and you know, when you said that you feel like the white woman was trying to humiliate
That's what
there's a term called adultification. And it means teachers, parents, and law enforcement are less protective and more punitive with certain children that are colored. Now, we have seen this many times before. There's actually a study, black boys viewed as older, less innocent than white males.
Yes.
All right. So if
that's
we really
that's what the grandma was saying. She was
and
not
if
having
we really want to go there, Graham.
Let's go.
I feel so on a regular. I feel scared for black children because no one treats them like fucking children. They don't get the same innocence and patience as other fucking children get. The same offense, dropping a pencil on the fucking floor. They do it, it's almost like, you know what? Get up, get the pencil, go in the corner. You meant to throw it on the floor. It fell off the desk, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, they are always, like I said, it's only been 56 years. They are looking at our children as if they are not children. They're adults. And they should be tried as adults. They're manipulative, they're conniving, they're malicious, they have ill intent, they're criminals from birth. That's just what it is. And so in her eyes, you meant to do this shit, like you said. I'm gonna make you pay for it. You'll never do it again. That's a mental cap. That's a Jim Crow asshole that needs to be fucking fired.
Yeah.
Take the fucking mind, let them have the body. That is fucking humiliating, and that is traumatizing. 5-year-old memories. Memories start at 3. So just imagine, white woman, I take a poop, I shit, she makes me get it out until it's all gone. But that whole fucking shit coming out of my mouth sounds, it's totally...
It's like, are you serious? Are you serious?
Wow. So that's the first thing I thought of. I had to look it up for the exact name, but it's adultification, and it happens to little black kids all the time in school systems. And it's almost as if they're not protected. Children are already not protected, but black children are definitely not protected under the system. They just assume that the kid was asking for it, just like women who get raped. They just assume that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she should have had on something different, and she shouldn't have been drunk, and she should have this, and the kids should have been more behaved, and they should have been more quiet. Like, it's always an excuse to why they have to treat them that way.
Yeah.
And that has been conditioned. Yeah. This bitch I know she's over fucking 56. So I already know her mentality ain't changed too fucking much.
Oh, not this teacher. The pictures I've seen of her, she looked like, bitch, she ain't my age. She like a little bit younger. So that's just as fucked up. You just one of them misguided bitches. And it's like, Micah said this, you said this on a couple episodes back when we talked about the little boy that the social services, the system failed him or whatever. You were like, those are, unfortunately, jobs dealing with kids are some of the quickest ones to get for people who just didn't really pick a path. If they want to be a teacher, fine. But if you were trying to do this, and didn't work out.
All else fails. If you just have to feed yourself, I'm going to become a teacher.
Yeah, and then our kids are the ones that deal with that. And what stuck out to me when you said that, you said about our kids not being protected. I feel that way so crazy when it comes to stuff. And that's why I'm so vocal at my kids' school. They either know me by name at me at school, like the principal, all her old teachers that don't know me, they either know me by name or they know me as Mia Hunter's mom or something like that, or whatever the fuck it is. They know me in a particular way because it's like, I'm the mom that's gonna always be here. You're gonna think twice, maybe even 3 times before you say something crazy to my kid. Me as teachers, I done cussed these motherfuckers out so many times when it came to coming at her crazy or talking to all the kids crazy because they're 8, they're 7 and 8. You gotta gauge your motherfucking understanding as an adult before you talk to people, kids like that. And I won't even stand for you talking to, because one time when I went off, she was talking to somebody else.
Kid, right.
She wasn't even talking to my, and all you heard me, I was sitting right here on the floor actually. All I heard me say was, she can't say that to us. So I said, what'd she say, baby? And then she said it again, how did you guys make it to the 3rd grade? Who the fuck is this bitch talking to? Email right now. I went off and I see everybody. It's just like, and I'm definitely advocating for my black ass kid. But at the same time, there's so many things you got to be aware of, because the kid she was snapping on, I don't think the kid was black. It was a little white girl. So this is just, again, this falls more along the lines of
people just not
authority that don't need to be there. Your shit not together all the way. You don't need to be nobody police officer.
Nobody.
You don't need to be that way. I saw a video the other day, bitch, briefing the mission of, it was a white man in the car, and I guess his wife was recording it, and this other officer came, and this officer looked like he could have been Latin to some extent, or he could have been white too, I'm not sure. But he literally stood there with the lady's car, and he's like, I'll fucking shoot you, man. Don't fucking try me like that. I'll fucking shoot you. There's a police officer. It was a police officer, whatever. He's like, you don't do it again. He's like, I didn't. I stopped. So the white man is in the front seat like this, hands off, door open. The door is open. And the guy standing there, gonna fucking shoot you. I'll fucking kill you right now. They got it all on camera. How the fuck? Like, clearly this nigga not stable. He's not there. He's not all the way there. And he could have killed this man regardless. And like every other case of police officers doing dumb shit, they would have protected him as much as they protected him and got off with it. Y'all hiring people that are not all the way there.
Yep. Psyche
evaluation they got to go through, like mental.
None. No psychiatric evaluation.
Maybe that's just like
psych evaluation needs to be gone through with. And I'll say that, goddamn, ain't got nothing wrong with me. But I feel like anybody that is working with children who has such a major influence in their life, everybody's first teacher is their parent. But the next person who has the most time with your fucking children are teachers. Mm-hmm. And I will be good goddamn if my kid comes home and I hear an utter of any type of adultification, bitch, because it's, hey, I'm taking this shit to the streets, goddamn. Like, this, it's a hell no. So, I think all the parents out there who constantly advocate for their kids, who show up, who try to be as present as possible, and even when fuck shit happens, you are there to make sure that the possible consequences actually go through, they actually happen. I really hope this fucking lady gets fired. She should be fucking ashamed of herself, which she probably is, and she got caught.
She is. I wrote it because she was just like, on the phone, the way the mom said it, it's almost kind of like, the white woman sounded like she was almost like out of body experience. It was like, I can't even, like, I don't even know. I'm just so sorry.
I don't trust.
And it's just like, and you know how I feel about white women in their tears. You fuck about it. White women cry and they feel like the whole goddamn world's supposed to stop. And for the most part, it works. I'm not even gonna lie. When white women start crying, everybody just get nervous. Everybody like, oh gosh, well, what is it? I don't get nervous, bitch. If you don't shut the fuck up, you put yourself in this situation. I don't care.
A white woman crying gets us killed.
It's a talent. It's a talent.
That shit is deadly to the black community, bitch. Don't get it. Oh Lord.
I just thought about slavery.
This is one of the main, and this is off topic, but this is one of the main reasons. If I have a son, do not date a white woman. I'm sorry. I am sorry, because at any moment in your relationship, if she feeling froggy, bitch, she will leak. And your ass will be in jail. And it'll be your word against hers. And who the fuck do you think they're gonna believe? Do not, sorry. I'm sorry. You can't date a white woman. I'm scared for your life. I don't think that you're safe. That's how I'm thinking about it. It has nothing to do with mixed children, and my thing was keeping the family black. But I am so scared because I don't trust white women's intentions. I don't know them. Because any other time, even the white woman who got Emmett Till fucked up, that bitch came out years later saying that she didn't even fucking do it. Like so my thing is, it's a no for me, dog. History has shown us that even when it's the relationship, a white woman, I saw so many movies. A white woman is attracted to a black man because she want to see what that dick like, right? Because she can, right? So she goes to a certain part of town because she can't let white people see her. Right. Goes to a certain part of town. You know what I'm saying? Gets mixed up with these black men, living her life because she's so fucking powerless in her own home. She get a little ounce of power in the black community, whatever. Fuck a black man. Gets pregnant, cries rape. He goes to fucking jail or dies. It's a no for me. You can't date her. No, because they will save themselves at the end of the day. They're not thinking about you. Self-preservation. And I don't know nobody on the fucking planet that got like them. Nobody. No fucking body. God damn. Like, to the 100% self-preservation. Ooh.
And to follow what you're saying, it's kind of like the reoccurring theme. Like, I feel like I might name the episode that. It's just been 56 years. Like, you know, like, I feel like that may be the name of this episode.
I'm gonna get the right number, bitch.
Get the right number for me, please. Get the right 50 for me. But it's like, for some people who are just oblivious to it or whatever, this is gonna trail into what I'm about to say next. People who are just so oblivious to it, it's kind of like, things can't be that diabolical. You gotta really give credit to the same systematic racism and the way things have been kind of beaten away. Like what Willie said about that dog he don't want to get because that dog has been so used to chewing on it. It's like, I think there is really something to be said about the psychological.
50 motherfucking 7. I was so close.
57? Very good. The psychological effect of years of doing something this way. This literally the idea of fucking evolution. That's where they claim we came from monkeys and shit. Something deviated, and over a billion years of doing it this way, eventually a bitch stood up straight, and then eventually fucking thumbs popped out. Like, this is what they're saying happened. It seems so crazy, so diabolical that it's ridiculous, but self-preservation is a serious thing. And if it comes down to where you already know somebody gonna agree with you or probably are more likely to be on your side, and you're somebody who doesn't give a fuck about that, this is where you're put in a tough situation. The story I want to tell you about is something else. It's another donkey today I heard Charlamagne give. It was a commentator. It's like a basketball team, like a high school basketball team. And the girls, this is recent enough, and the girls, they took a knee when the anthem came on. They took a knee because of Kaepernick, for police brutality, black people, all that. The speaker on the commentator didn't know his mic was off or whatever. He said, "Fuck it."
Got his ass.
And he was just, he's blamed Micah. He said he's diabetic and his sugar was low. And then when that happens, he just blurts things out sometimes.
Oh, so you get Tourette's of racism.
If you don't cut it out, white man.
Whoa.
Pissed.
But my thing is, why not just ride that shit out and blame it on your conditioning? Blame it, fuck it. Fuck it. I said fucking niggers. And now you need to blame it on conditioning because all that other shit that y'all come up with don't make sense. But a bitch can't believe you if you say, you know what? In my house, my granddaddy used niggers like I ain't never, like water. I hear that shit every day. It's a part of the conversation when we're at the house. My bad, y'all. That shit slipped. I know that shit ain't really welcome. God damn.
Because the point is, we still don't respect you. You're racist. You're a bigot.
Right.
It's still fuck you. But at least I still slightly respect people more for standing on their shit. I said what I said. I'm team. I said what I said. That's my favorite hat for me and NicoleBrand.com. So I said what I said. And so with him along with this white bitch that got the baby fishing through shit, literally, these are people that are at school. This is a fucking high school. It's a high school, or it was it had to be a high school. I don't think it was a middle school, but it was like a high school basketball team. So you're dealing with kids, and before you see kids as kids, it's fucking niggers. And you blame it on diabetes, bitch?
You're an idiot.
What?
And my thing, like I'm saying, like
That
I don't
shit
understand.
crazy, Micah.
But yeah, I don't understand white men because if y'all really was unapologetically white nationalists, y'all wouldn't apologize for shit.
You said what you said, boo.
Like, you said it.
It's cool.
Ride that shit out. Like,
you gotta follow me. I'll follow me. Uh-oh. Michael froze. Come back, come back, Micah, this is where you belong in my life, in my world. Y'all know what song that is? Come back, come back. I'm not gonna tell y'all, but this is a man singer. He's love of my life personally. Oh, bitch, I'm the one that's goddamn off the goddamn. Uh-oh. Go back in there, Micah.
Okay.
Okay, babe. Oh, she looks lovely.
Leah.
Oh, it's a nice picture. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. My internet just gave up.
Yeah, but what I was saying about white men is like they've been faking the power for so long, and because they hide behind money, they hide behind the color of their skin, they hide
privilege,
behind
right?
Right, and so you're really not as powerful as you would like to put on that you are, because if you were, you would be unapologetic. Do you think kings apologize? Do kings apologize?
No, baby.
Do queens fucking apologize? They don't fucking do that.
That's for the poor.
Right? And if we're really going back to history, this what the fuck you learn your.
Lord, what is it now? Who is doing this to me? God, the white man don't like what we talking about. Mm-mm. He said, nope. You hear me?
Yeah, nope.
Hold on, girl. It went out. It says your internet connection is unstable. I see. Let me connect to my goddamn, just to throw this on blowout, because we have such a good flow here. I think the whites are coming through and they're shutting this shit down. Okay. Well, we seem to be okay right now. Let me just.
Yeah, so like I said, if he was as powerful as a world gives him,
yes,
I'll say that. If he was as powerful as the world, if he felt that, if he really embodied that, bitch, he would kept moving. But because of, and it's almost like, why do you even care what people think about you?
Right?
Why do you care if you can't? You're just gonna pay somebody and they're gonna put you on their network. Like that. Like I do feel like they do get penalized. They do get if they were on a radio station, they get fucking canceled and nobody listens, and then the network lets them go if it's a TV show. Like I do think they get punished, but you're fine. Like you're still fine. You know, like
yeah. I think for me, what I think makes it so weird is like not even weird, but I hope it's something for people who maybe aren't as aware about just how racially charged so many things are, and people who think when we make comments about it, or when Micah really goes, or Micah does one of her talks about it that we have on here, we're not pulling this out of our ass. We just explained to you, grown ass woman that made a 5-year-old little black boy dig his shit and toilet paper out of a toilet with his bare hands. Explain to me how the fuck that makes sense. Why would you do something like that?
And then the baby had to articulate that.
He said his poopy. He's like, I had to pick up my poopy out of the toilet today. But her mom was like, your poopy? What are you talking about? Yeah, Miss Les, what's her name? And I'm gonna keep saying the bitch name too, because that's what Charlamagne pointed out too. When they did the news report, a teacher at so and so and so and so and so, Leah Butler's child, like they said the mom's name. And it's like, what the fuck the mom got to do with this? So Charlamagne just kept saying her name over and over again. And I was like, yes, say her name over and over again. The media has a very colorful way of pointing out everything they can about the blacks. But the moment a white motherfucker do something, it's just like, well,
where is she?
No, it's not a woman. Her name is something Lessner or Cat Lessner. What I said? You said it was like Catheter.
Catheter, yeah. Lassiter.
Karla Lassiter.
Lassiter. Okay.
Made a 5-year-old do some crazy shit. And it's like, sis, this goes into where, what if she's just so oblivious, and because she has such a miserable life, or because she was so frustrated, she made a poor decision and she did that. But the unfortunate thing, and me and Micah talked about this on previous episodes, actions have consequences, right? For every action, there's a reaction. So you do something, this is what happens. Well-adjusted people don't do shit like this. well-adjusted people that don't need help in some other type of way, they don't make 5-year-olds do shit like that.
They don't.
And that's just so that I feel like she has mental shit she has to figure out, because why the fuck would you do that? Right?
Yeah.
You just a big ass racist. You gotta just embrace that. The dude that said fucking niggers or whatever and blended on diabetes, it's like, okay, same thing for you. These are probably people that you speak to on a regular basis, and they seem like lovely people. And the punchline is you're a fucking nigger when you're not around. And it's kind of like the more I learn about the things that Black people have gone through, I understand those Black folks that do not like white people at all. I understand.
Don't trust them.
They don't trust you.
Don't trust them.
And the best thing a white person can do, another example, I was watching, so one of my other shows I was watching, the guy who hosts The Bachelor, he went off about that. He was like defending the TV show The Bachelor with the whole rose thing. I don't watch it, but I know about the show. And the show, like, he got fired. He got replaced because of his racist comments. I guess this Black guy was on it, the first Black guy ever. He had between this white woman and this Black woman. He picked the white woman, but then he picked the white woman. It came out a little bit after that this bitch like got Confederate flags everywhere. She supports this, and she's like super creepy racist. And it's just like the Black guy broke up with her. But I think the host of the show was like defending the pictures that she's liked and stuff like that. He was like, almost like it's not that big of a deal. And it's like, it's not big of a deal to you, motherfucker. It's a big deal to this Black man. He did the better thing, because his thing was, it's just, we're already going to be in a difficult relationship because we're biracial. And it's like, you can't be.
You don't make this shit. You can't be racist. You can't be a Confederate, bitch, because that's what you're trying to ride with.
Yes.
You are a Southern Confederate. It's a hell no.
Yesterday, Tennessee, do you know in the state's constitution?
Bitch, yes, it is not abolished for real.
Did they? Now they voted on it yesterday. I don't know what the vote outcome was.
What's the verdict, bitch?
I don't know. But
some people was like, why not? Because
listen, I had him on here, bitch. I'm gonna tell you about him. So it was one white guy. He was just like, okay, it doesn't do anything one way or another, even if it does say that slavery is still legal. So just leave it alone. I'm gonna vote no. And I don't understand politics. And my thing is like, okay, is this one of those things where you only get so many yes, no's votes, and so you're trying to save your votes for something else? I don't think that's how it works. I think everybody gets a vote for every fucking thing that's brought to the table. Another white guy, listen to this racist ass motherfucker here. He said, well, I'm a non-lawyer, and most of my voters are non-lawyers, and I don't understand all the terminology. The Constitution is a very sacred document, and they probably couldn't put a lot of extra words in it, but I don't know how to explain to non-lawyers all this non-lawyer terminology. So I guess I'm going to just vote no, and just leave it the way it is. And it's just like, what?
57.
And so Charlamagne said the funniest thing. He was like, there's nothing funnier than a white man who knows he's wrong trying to tiptoe and dance around the fact slavery is still legal in your state. And it's not. It's supposed to be abolished. Take it out of there. And it's just like, oh my gosh, when you see stuff like that, every time I hear these stories, every time I see these scenarios, I just want to take my fucking kid and just put her right back in my womb and look.
Right.
Like, I don't know how I'm gonna fit her up there.
Girl, I'm
more than half my height.
Shit make you scared to have a boy.
It's so scary. And it's
children.
Just like, and the point Charlamagne made that was so striking to me, it was so deafening, if you will, is that these people are the people that vote to make decisions in your state. Black people in Tennessee should be very fucking concerned, because your leaders, the people that make the decisions for you, they don't want to abolish slavery out of the fucking constitution of your state. He talking about it's a sacred document that still says you can fucking free.
But I think the scariest thing about that sacred document, I'm going to talk about it in my minute rant, but the fact that white people in Tennessee know this, I think that's scarier that it's out, because we didn't know that bit of information until now. I think it's worse that everybody in the fucking world now knows that slavery that's scary to me. This is 12 years of slave type shit. This is, I'm gonna come get your ass and I'm gonna make you a slave type shit because I can. Because, you know what I'm saying? And antebellum. So that is what I said when Willie told me, I was like, I'm scared that everybody knows that now. everybody knows in Tennessee, X, Y, and Z. That is not good. That is not good. I am afraid for the Black people in Tennessee.
That's what Charlamagne said.
Because there are some ignorant ass white people somewhere couldn't wait for some shit like this to pop off because the South still ain't shit.
In fact, because you hear that now. You hear that now, 2021. I've heard so many stories the last couple of years of just where, oh yeah, certain parts of Georgia at a certain time of night, you don't want to be out there by yourself. It's just like, this is still, so when Michael, we say things like,
you're not letting it go.
It's just been 57 years. Yep.
57 years.
The other day, there was a weird resurgence of like lynches, like last year or the earlier last year, and they kept labeling them suicides. What niggas do you know?
I think it was 19. No.
Who the fuck does that?
No.
How are there so many cases of things like that? So to me, it's kind of like when you find Black people that are paranoid, the best advice I have for white people in situations is to stay in your lane, my guy. If you're not racist, then, denounce all racist actions and stay in your place. Don't fucking ask us why we're so hung up on it. And slavery was so long ago. And it's been because we got bitches doing shit like making our kids put their fucking hands in toilets. I would have beat this bitch up. That would have been it. It would have been a fight. I would have hurt.
Yeah.
I would have got arrested. I'm like, all right, somebody call Karla. I need bail money. That's my bail person. Let's call him. Let's get me out. But she finna get dragged. You don't do stuff like that. And then to me, that's the same thing when I say you can treat people however you want to treat them. You can't then tell them how to respond to it. You already know how I feel about my jit. Are you serious?
You should have wiped that shit on her.
Positions that you put, the positions that we're put in as Black people, that we have to keep all this poise while we're being dignified and treated like shit on a regular basis. And you want me to keep my composure? I'm gonna keep my composure. And then on top of that, you fucking with my kid. It's like, I don't know why you pushing this, but you about to get this ass whooping you working for. And then you find out in Tennessee, there's things like this, and there's people, white people from what I saw, that are sitting here trying to defend the fact to vote no to remove it. What is the benefit of keeping it in there? Do you understand how blatantly obvious you're making this shit right now?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. Those are the unapologetic whites that I like. I know who you are. I know who you are. I know how to deal with people like you. It's the motherfuckers who smile and call me nigga behind my back. I can't trust. That's the worst type of white person. I voted for Obama twice just for the sake of saying I'm on your side, but you really fucking not. That under the, what is it, covert racism? I think that was because overt is like when you're and the covert is when you're not. Literally, that's the worst type of person. It's the worst type of racist. I don't want no parts. I want to walk by a crack ass crack, and I want them to call me a nigger bitch. Okay, I know where you at with this. I know where we're going with this. I got my fucking knife. I'm buying a knife today. It's $10. Nice. Like one, anyways.
Yes.
It's a blade. We should
I would like one.
I'm doing it. But it's so personal.
Cutting bitches all 2021.
Knives are so personal, but I feel like now I'm a mom. I need a knife.
It's a very personal way to kill someone.
It's so personal, but I feel like if you do it real fast. I feel like it's so personal. Fuck. Oh, nobody, don't try me. I don't want to do it. I will, but don't try me. I don't want to do that.
I'm shooting and stabbing bitches. So keep playing now.
But yeah, so like I said, I want to walk by, hear a nigga bitch, and be
like you're spicy.
So I'm finna turn around and just walk this way because I can't trust you. I know I can't. So let me just walk like this. As you continue to call me names, I'm just gonna be like, okay, white man, I hear you. Yeah. But you're gonna get these hands if you try. You know what I'm saying? So like. That's
the scary thing to me. Because the point is, it's like I was saying. Man, this is a teacher. She teaches kindergarten kids. You love kids. You wouldn't think it's the case. And she did what she did. The guy that's a commentator, he's probably like somebody at the school. I remember at BA when we used to it used to be like Coach Spence and them, like security guards that were also coaches and they were commentators or whatever. So this could have been somebody that just walks around the school on a regular basis around everybody. And to know that somebody with that much fucking hate in their heart and their mind and their soul is around your kids, it's just like, damn, you motherfuckers is probably.
It's unnerving, dog.
It's so stressful to think about that. And then the ones that do let their racist flags just wave, they correct themselves once they get in trouble too much. Like the Papa John's man. the guy that used to the CEO Papa John's, the founder or whatever, Papa, I guess. You know, they cut his ass out of there a while back because he said some real shit. But it's like recently, he was just even like, you know, he first of all, he's just mad at the board for kicking him out. He was like blaming the board of like Papa John's, like, how do you let the media and everyone just label the owner, the owner of the company, the creator of the company, a racist? And it's like, they didn't label you anything. You were recorded saying nigga in like a derogatory way. You're racist, babe. Just get the fuck out of here. Just go. Just go. And it's like he's blaming on everybody else. He's blaming all his shit on everybody else instead of just taking responsibility for the fact that you said words that you use, and this is what you like to call us. This is what it is. It's a whole bunch of y'all, but you sitting here and if light is shown on it too much, like watch these people, these congressmen that said this shit, and it was like, you know, it doesn't mean anything one way or another. They're about to get chewed up. And they're probably going to resign or something like that, because the shame of it is, regardless of whether they like it or not, yeah, you can live your truth, but you're going to get treated accordingly. So you're going to get labeled as a racist or whatever the fuck it is every time you support shit like that. We're going to treat you like that. So it doesn't work for your money. Like being racist publicly and things like that is just as effective as fucking with the gays. The gays will chew your ass up quick. And the people who sit there and defend the blacks, they're going to chew your ass up quick. That's the last thing you want, is the racist tied to your brand. So you're gonna find a way to kind of smuggle your way out of that. But these little motherfuckers like covert ops, just hiding in the fucking dust. Racist as fuck, you ain't got no clue. You don't know who's who. You don't know.
I don't like that. Be racist as fuck or not at all.
All right. I'm gonna trail off on these. So this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. So I was talking to a friend of mine last night. He older than me. And he last I checked, I know when I checked a couple months ago, I'll say probably a year or two ago, I thought like maybe we're 31, so at about like 34 is like where millennials stop, and then the other ones are like the one before that. Right. Yeah. When I Googled it last night, he was still considered a millennial, but he's not. Like, for all intents and purposes, the logic that we come by with stuff, he doesn't think that way. He has an older way of thinking, which isn't a bad thing.
But he's the tail end, so
yeah, he's on the tail end, so he's a little bit borderline on the other side. He was telling me about, like, he was out of town. He was in Utah. So in Utah, you know, he's from Florida. He's Florida as fuck. And well-spoken guy, well-mannered, doesn't, you know, you fuck with him, he'll beat your ass, but he doesn't bother people. And so he was like, he was there, and like in Utah, and somebody stepped on his shoes. There's another black guy, and he stepped on his shoes, and he was like, here, we're kind of used to, if you do something, oh, my bad, bro, my bad. Like, you know, we just say my bad and kind of go on with the mo, but the guy said nothing to him. The guy just like, whatever, stepped on his foot, you know, kept moving. And I think he bumped him again accidentally. Like, he seemed like it really was an accident, but he was just like, hey, man, you stepped on my shoes, man, be careful. And he was like, man, I don't give a fuck about your shoes. So the guy kind of got spicy like that. So my friend, he's in a situation where he's like, all right, I'm in a whole other state. You know, I ain't trying to promote black on black crime, but this nigga trying me. So the conversation just came up with cultures. Like, this guy could be from Utah. He could be from somewhere else. He could be from anywhere else where shoes don't matter the way shoes matter to a cultural Floridian.
Fucking courtesy, bitch.
Shoes. Right. So it's like, that to me was something I want to talk about. Just being aware of the cultural differences, even just from where you're from.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the etiquette that needs to be managed. And then what do you do when you're out of town and y'all both in a different state and the etiquette's different altogether? But in his situation, it could have easily been a fight. So
he did the right thing. Keep you fucking cool, nigga.
Yeah, so he let it slide or whatever. And then his homeboys kind of saw like the not the tussle, but the back and forth. So they kind of walked over like, damn, bro, you straight? He was like, yeah, man, I'm good. So the other dude was like, he was getting hyped, like, I'll fight you right now, until his homeboys got hold. He was like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? Like, calm down. What you did? So when they start realizing they're apologizing for their friend, they're just like, you know, dang, our bad or whatever. And I was, that's a cultural thing. For him, shoes maybe don't matter, or maybe just in general, but it's not your place. You've inflicted some type of harm, quote unquote, on me in some type of way. The common courtesy thing to do is just say sorry.
Courtesy, yeah.
That's it. Just say sorry instead of being a fucking dick about it. So my homeboy was like, well, he saw him when the club was over. He walked around because they did almost like get into a fight. And he, this dude's fit as fuck, so he probably would beat the fuck out this guy. So he walking around, and then he was like, he saw him at the end. He said he walked up to him. By the time he drunk, or whatever, he was like, "Bro, I don't believe in black on black crime. What you did was fucked up, bro. But I don't believe black on black crime. I ain't gonna do that to you." So the guy started calling. He was like, "Bro, look, bro, I want to say sorry, bro, my bad." Da, da, da. But the guy walked off. My friend walked off. He was like, "Nah, I ain't say nothing else to him." I said, "Well, maybe this is a lesson for him. Maybe this will teach him."
But yeah, I mean, I got a dose of that. Well, my friends got a dose of that when they went to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. I thought of as a temp, whichever one you told me about, where they just spicy. Where Jesus' mama is from?
Tampa? No.
Is it Tampa?
Jacksonville?
Maybe Jacksonville.
Jacksonville and Tampa, the spiciest places.
Yeah, you always tell me that.
And my friend and her friends, and I had to fucking work. I couldn't call off, and they was like, "Well, Michael, we'll see you." I said, "All right."
When we return.
So they went to Jacksonville. They went out to a party. Women in Jacksonville. And I've been told this since my freshman year. It was this boy, Ron. I never forget him. Met him on a bus. Nigga was so nice to me. But he was from Jacksonville. And Jacksonville niggas is cut differently. We went to grab bash with their ass. They on some other shit. They live.
So, very scary.
Yes. And he told me about the women. So the thing is, it was this girl that went to high school with, whatever. So we would go to this one party all the time on Friday nights. I fucking hole in the wall. I don't know what the fuck I was doing there. Anyways, be there. And like, he literally came up and he was like, he was like, Michael, so my homegirls finna come out, you know what I'm saying? They're not really friendly. They're not really nice. He was like, yeah. Jacksonville hoes, they just hate. That's just the way they build. I don't know what's wrong with them hoes, blah, blah, blah. But he was just telling me just chill. And I was just like, what do you mean I'm fine? Like, because like, yeah. I'm not that bitch. I was even more bubblier when I was 18. So I was like, I don't want any of those problems. Like, so it's just, he had to give me that disclaimer about the girls. And so me and my girls was dancing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so the girl just sized me. I said, oh, wow. And so then she starts dancing, and like, a bitch is always battling me in the club. So at this point, I'm like, I'm doing my thing, and I see her doing her thing like super hard. I'm like, is she battling me? I'm not doing that with her. Like, it was just fucking weird. Yeah, you look dark now. It was just weird. And so my friends went up to Jacksonville, and they went to this club, and they were super pretty, and they're super tall, so they definitely look like people. They look like somebody. So they walked in, and from the moment, girl sizing them, they in their own section, they minding their own business, girl sizing them, all of a sudden it turned into a dance battle, and the dance battle turned into a full-on brawl, and the security guards jumped in. So there was grown men beating my friend's ass with chairs and stools and punching them in the back of their head, all type of shit. And it's like, these Jacksonville women antagonized this whole situation. My friends were not starting shit. They was literally in their own section. These girls came in front of their section, and they started dancing and doing whatever the fuck, being messy. And they're, all right, y'all, just chill, blah, 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 bougie, whatever the fuck. They felt it was too good, whatever. They end up getting into a huge fight, and the bouncers jumped in. And I would never, this is the scariest night of her life, but
yeah, because you see like, men.
And I've been told, Micah, even the nigga I was talking to who was from Jacksonville, he talking about, well, I ain't gonna take you over there because them hoes don't know how to act when blah, blah, blah. They don't know you're not from Jacksonville. I don't got time. I will beat a bitch ass about you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's cute, but
that's sweet. Thanks.
I don't want to go. But I've been told more times than not that when I go to Jacksonville, I cannot go with somebody who's not from Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They will intentionally come for me because they know I'm not from there, and I can't be around here thinking I'm too cute or whatever the fuck because I'm finna get my ass dragged, and they will drag my ass. So cultural differences, for real, especially in the Black community, is real based on where you live, bitch, and the hood. And it's just crabs in the barrel mentality in Jacksonville. Nobody wants to see nobody win. Everybody hating on everybody. You know, it's just like that. And I think Tampa is similar. Not as bad as Jacksonville, but Tampa is similar. With the way they handle stuff. And it's like, it's almost scary to be a guy. Like, I would be scared to be a guy from anywhere and go to Jacksonville because I'm probably going to end up fighting. They're going to fight me. Like, it's going to be a fight. Grab bash, prime example.
Grab bash, like I mean,
a nigga from Duval. Why are we fighting?
Me and the Carter were walking somewhere, like literally crowds ran into like a food restaurant at one point. Somebody like, there's blood on the floor. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Florida's so ghetto. Like, why are we here?
But yeah, there are serious culture differences, culture courtesies. Southern boys are very much lame compared to niggas from South Florida and Miami. Like, just South Florida in general. For a lot of them, Miami, Palm Beach, whatever. Niggas from Dallas is very different from niggas in Miami. The way they treat each other, the way they treat their women, the way they talk to each other, the way that they address a problem, i.e. stepping on a bitch shoe. It's a no. You get size if I stepped on your shoe. Like,
right.
Nigga, you better fucking move your damn shoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're in my way. How dare you be in my way?
How dare your foot be over here? Yeah. What I was saying to the guy I was talking to last night, again, the generational, just the generational differences. There was he had a scenario, kind of something, literally, me and you have literally gone through the same exact thing. We got a group chat, it's somebody in a group chat, they mad that they not invited, but they don't reply to anything. It's like, well, bitch, you weren't invited. How the fuck do you not, you ain't say nothing. So he gone through the same fucking thing. And I'm explaining to him that in his case, the way the guy handled everything, like the way the guy kind of maneuvered through situations where he wouldn't reply, but he'd watch every story that the guy posted. I said, you know, something that I feel like a lot of people aren't good at spotting is envy, right? Like even within themselves, right? People are not good at spotting when they're jealous of somebody.
I just talked about that.
Yeah, because I said to him, when did you talk about it? We talked about it on the podcast already? We didn't talk about this.
No, I talked about jealousy.
You were just talking, okay, right. People don't understand how to spot that properly. Because I said to him, I said, okay, think about it, because he was like, man, that nigga don't fuck with me, man. I know him, because he was hurt. Like, I've known this dude for so long. I can't believe he acted funny like this. So I said, you know, low key, all his actions sound like admiration that he doesn't know how to process, because jealousy shows up in some type of way. You can go the path of just being a hating ass motherfucker, which a lot of people go that way and stay there, or you can go the path of realizing that you're envious of something because you admire what this person has and you want to achieve to be that or have that or whatever. And then it ain't even about the person anymore. Now you just got a new goal to work towards. This is literally the whole process, I think, of envy. I don't think you see something off rip and are just a hating ass person, but envy shows up in many ways. And if you don't know how to turn that into fuel, then you just become one of these bitter ass people that it's so blatantly obvious it's beef. He said he didn't call this dude, he didn't text this dude because they grew up together, like just a whole thing. And the guy doesn't pick up his calls and say nothing, but he watches every single story he posts. So he's a fan at this point. And the unfortunate part is he is not well adjusted enough to understand how to process these feelings that he's feeling. So then it just comes out and he treating you a certain kind of way, but he watching everything you do. Ain't no bitch I don't like that I'm watching everything she does.
That's weird.
I'm not doing that. What we doing that for?
That's so weird.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Social media makes people weirder than they really are. It makes them weirder than they really are.
It makes them weirder than they really are.
No, really, like, because guess what? If you didn't have none of this shit, you wouldn't be around here watching nobody's shit if you ain't have Instagram.
That's a fact.
Nobody could see you being fucking creepy if we didn't have stories that let us know who's watching us.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like, what they doing today? Oh, they swear they so blah, 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 like, bruh.
And my thing is like, how do people who do that, how do you do that and not hear like the envy and the hate coming out of your mouth? Like, that's crazy to me. Who does that? And so my thing with him is, what I was trying to break down to him while being very high, it was very funny. I had to, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Because I was really flowing at the time. And I was like, you know, I said the thing I'm realizing is just generationally and how things go. I said it's something that I'm just kind of clicking into now that I'm starting to realize now. The younger our generations, like the newer generations, our level of confidence is at 1,000. I said, so and like Mia is gonna be like at a bazillion. And I said that's something that I had to do. Like you almost have to understand that you're more impressive than you even give yourself credit for, right? And it's the humbleness in you. You're so humble about it. Like who's hating on me? Why would somebody be jealous of me? I ain't got shit. That's also amazing. If you are, my plant collection is something to be envious of. Okay, but otherwise, I feel like I'm a pretty.
Yeah, shut the fuck.
I got the same amount of time in my day. I got the same amount of time in my day. Like, and so I was saying to him, I was like, you're a very fit guy. You do well for yourself. Women like you. These are all things that maybe he aspires to be. I was like, is he on the chubbier side? He was like, I mean, he ain't fit, but he's not big. He's just normal. I say, yeah. So he light skinned. So, he's like, man, he light skinned. Don't girls like light skinned niggas? I was like, yeah, some of them, but it doesn't matter. It's like, no matter what people have, some people just don't know how to manage their jealousy in the right way. Jealousy is also a natural emotion. You just got to figure out.
Exactly. It comes, everybody's felt it.
Everybody feels it. And I told him, I said, I'm good at that. If I see something in jealous, my thing is, if I see something that somebody has that I want, my thing isn't to sit there and be mad at them because they have it. It just doesn't make sense to me. If I want this, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what the fuck that is because I want one. I don't even think about them anymore. Now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to get whatever it is I want to get, right? Mm-hmm. I said, I can't say I got it all together, but at least when it comes to stuff like that, I think we would all do a lot better at just at recognizing.
Just call it out. And it is a negative it shouldn't be a negative connotation. It definitely is. Jealousy is a negative.
It is.
It's a negative. It's negative. And so, but it shouldn't be because it's natural. And I feel like because at one point in time, everybody has felt, and even if you can't put your finger on it, it's probably jealousy. Because nobody wants to claim it, right? I don't want to claim that I'm jealous of anybody. I don't want to claim that I feel a way because this person has done this. Nobody wants to claim that shit, but that's what it is. When you can't figure it out, it's jealousy. Yeah. That's just what it is. So channeling that shit, like you said, I think is one of those things where it's like, okay, I recognize this. Damn. I talked about being a me first ass person. Mm-hmm. You can be happy after me though. Me first. Right? Okay. I gotta get married first. I gotta have the kids first. I gotta have a degree first. I gotta let me do this shit first, and then I'm fucking with y'all. But other than that, if I ain't first, I ain't fucking with it. And I'm gonna show that I'm not fucking with it in a very in a weird way. Like it's awkward almost. Because you know it's something. So yeah, and you know it's something. It's like, but what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't think people know how to deal with it because everybody's been told, don't be jealous, don't be jealous, don't be jealous. Nobody has told you how to fucking work through that shit. You know how to work through it.
And then my thing is like, and it's like, even in the midst of their jealousy, like they do such blatantly obvious things to show whatever. And it's almost like a cry for help. So what I was saying to my homeboy, because one of their other friends came and was like, oh, so-and-so want to have a sit down. So the dude I was with, he was like, man, fuck that nigga. I want to sit down and talk about shit. Like, I've been calling you, I've been texting you. We done grew up together, And I said, well, the issue is you don't have a chip on your shoulder. He does. And I said, but the bigger issue is how I would like you to look at this is, and I know it's a very tooting your own horn type of way to think about it. And I don't even see things that way, but in certain aspects you have to. It's like, he's jealous of something that you have, something that you achieve. Maybe he's just jealous of your happy-go-lucky nature, my friend. Right. Something that you have, he's envious of, and it's showing up in this type of way. If you want to be cool with him, then have the talk with him. I said, but if anything, you should pity this nigga more than anything else because he's not aware. He doesn't know himself. He's not self-aware enough to process shit. And instead of sitting here working on being a better version of you, you spend all day watching the next nigga and what he doing. Yeah, that's crazy. That's what you do. Like, this is what your existence is. So it's like, if anything, you should feel bad for bro because he fucking going through it. Like he going through it OD.
Poor guy.
People just yelling in my goddamn bedroom. Give us your minute, Michael. Woken up.
So Amendment 14. This goes back to Tennessee doing what they're doing. So Amendment 14 basically stated that all men were basically, you know, created equal, life to live, the fact to live, I'm just gonna read this shit. Hold on.
Okay. No.
I can't butcher this very important amendment. Amendment. 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and are subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor denied to any person within the jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Now, where these crackers got away with this shit, Jim Crow came in, right? So my thing is, how many of y'all know the Bill of Rights? How many of y'all know the amendments?
I mean, I don't know.
Any of them?
No.
The most important thing I think Black people need to do, let's just go straight back to the Constitution, right? Everybody love to talk about what the Constitution did, what it's doing this, blah, 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 Abraham Lincoln, all that other shit. How about, I'm saying, you read that shit for yourself, because I guarantee you, they always say, educate yourself on economics, educate yourself on the law of the land that you're in, right? Now, we are not so much protected state-wise, because guess what? If an individual person does anything in the 14th Amendment, they are basically covered because they're an individual, a person. This is a personal attack. This is not a state or a law attack. This is a personal attack. You're just being inhumane. That's all it is. You chuck it up to inhumane and you get charged for murder, if that even happens. Obviously, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, you see how this shit is turning out. But there are loopholes in the way that these people who are in Congress and the Supreme Court like to fucking juggle our lives and handle things based on the Constitution and the Amendment, because that's what they have to refer to every fucking time, or they have to vote when shit's not going right. When nobody can agree, they go to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court is fucking us. Literally, y'all know. So I think next election, we need to pay attention to who we're voting in those spots. Yeah, the Supreme Court, the legislative.
They always say that. They always say that local elections are more important a lot of times.
For real. I was watching Amend. Will Smith is a narrator. It's on Netflix. It kind of goes through all these different things. Like it's Amend America the Beautiful or something like that. Y'all, this shit, y'all gonna be mad. But hear me out. It's so much understanding of the way that things really work in America on a very, very simple level, and their visuals are on point. I let my 9-year-old that I homeschool, I let him watch an episode about the Civil War, One Nation or Two, and it was just like the things you don't know, right? Will kill you. The things you don't know will kill you. So all I'm gonna say to Blacks today, go and read them amendments, all right? You go ahead, you get the Bill of Rights, because I guarantee you, I mean, teach them to your kids, find a way to incorporate that in your everyday life, because these white people don't have to do that. This shit it's not underlining to them. It's everything is like, well, did they really mean the slaves? They didn't really say the slaves. Like, it's just so much bullshit.
Technicalities, they try to,
Exactly. And so, my thing watching that was, you know what I'm saying, I just have to be more vigilant in the way that I'm teaching American history, because I'm here, I'm American, born or naturalized. I was naturalized in America, so that's what I am. I like to claim that shit, but technically I'm American, and that's fine.
You are what you are.
I am what I am. But I think for your sanity, for your sake, when you educate yourself, and you go back to the 1964s and the 1840s, and you look at all these cases that the Supreme Court went through, you get a liberating feeling of, we haven't come that far, but we have. We've made a lot of advances, and yes, a lot of these things are like, institutionalized in a way, but at the same time, it could be a lot worse. So I would just say educate yourself so that you can walk around a different set of different kind of pride, a different kind of balance. Because I walk around.
You walk different when you know your shit. You walk different when you know your shit.
And you won't be so angry, bitch. I used to be at parties, drunk as fuck, mad at social justice mad. Like, what the fuck? I'd be so mad, drunk. And so if you don't want to live in that state of mind, educate yourself on the loopholes that we can actually fight back with, because we know how the law works. And if you use the law against the law, what are they gonna do? You'll probably have a better chance at winning whatever it is. But one more thing. I don't know why lawyers to this day and they may, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or whatever, the people who get civil rights cases, they never bring up the cases that happened when all these laws started to be handed to us. When they started passing these laws, it's a law today in 1809, we're passing this law X, Y, and Z. None of these lawyers go back in history. And my thing is, if I'm literally using a case that won in 1864, and I'm using all of the information that was given and all the laws and all that, why aren't they using that today for helpful purposes? The first thing I think of when some bullshit be happening, like that kid walking in with the fucking guns, hate crime, blah, 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 I think of the 14th Amendment. I think of goddamn the 12th Amendment. I think of the amendment. Like, why they don't ever bring that shit into court? And it's
they do, but that's essentially like it's essentially whatever the case is. The case isn't to prove that I'm not guilty, right? Like, my lawyer's job isn't to prove I'm not guilty. My lawyer's case is to put reasonable doubt in what they're doing. Like, your job is to prove I'm guilty. My job isn't to prove I'm guilty or innocent. My job is to put holes in your story and prove that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So they do bring up these cases. Anytime it comes up something, you hear like all the classic stories, the Roe versus Wade's or whatever, things like that come up. They bring these cases up, but so many little bits and pieces have happened in between then that it's kind of like, it doesn't happen. And it's all about the technicality. When you get little things like OJ, whether we believe he did it or not, I think he did it.
Glove, right.
Yeah, but regardless, whatever, it's a glove, like little simple shit like that. There's so many things that put him in, like, nigga, you did it. But it's little simple things like that. And there's so many cases, like, it's proof. We got blood here. We got this, we got that. Well, the glove don't fit, bitch. That's how he got off. And too, because the arresting officer was racist. Like, they got videos of him talking about killing niggas and like, I hate niggers. Yeah, I'll just set a nigger up if I need to. This is who arrested OJ. So OJ got the perfect storm to get off and then fucked up later. But that's the point. They bring up these cases, but there's just so many little technicalities. And whether the case is there or not, the point is, okay, fine. Let's say the case is, we made up a law that it's wrong for you. There's a new amendment, a new law, whatever. It's wrong for you to not hire me because I'm Black. Like affirmative action. This is the affirmative action law, or for let me come into school because I'm Black or whatever. You got to prove in some type of way that the same stipulations that happened in that case are what happened here. And in many cases, I don't think they're ever going to be that dire, because obviously what we made this law now because the way you did this shit is really, really fucked up. The next time somebody does it, they're probably not going to do it as extreme. They're going to, so there's little ways where a good lawyer can find a way to hop around that. So they bring it up because the key is, okay, how the fuck did Michael win this case the last time she had to?
Right.
In the situation. Let me go look. Lawyers do that all the time. They look up every case. They get all the cases. That's right. But the unfortunate part is there's always one little difference. The one little difference could be she's white, not Black. The one little difference could be it's a girl, not a boy. The one little difference could be she's F7, not 8. So all these little things come in there. So it's like, it helps, but in many cases, especially when it's elaborate enough, it's not as clean cut as, why don't you just bring up the case? They bring that shit up and it just still ain't really helping them.
But cases, yes, because that's an example, but laws were passed that say a specific thing. True. You cannot do this anymore because of 1989's case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? A law came from a case. Yeah. It's the law part. You know what I'm saying? And I get, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they do. I wasn't really.
But it just seems so simple.
It doesn't.
Like, why do I have to argue this?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel. like they be digging deep to find the justice and the injustice in some of these cases that just seem so blatantly fucked up.
So blatantly fucked up.
And so how can the judge blatantly say, no, this nigga is going to jail with all of the fucking lawful facts? You know, I don't fucking know, man.
Girl, they fired this police officer. Real quick. They fired this police officer because they heard him on, like, he was arresting somebody and they heard him use the N-word. Like, they heard him use the N-word just talking casually or whatever. And they fired him for that. But then the gag is he was black. So they fired a nigga for saying nigga. And it was like, what? What happened? How does this work? And so basically it's like an officer that works in Lauderdale. He's arresting somebody who he's given breaks to or whatever, just tried to help out a million times. And he was like, so the guy said something, he's like, you going to jail today, my nigga. And that's how he said it. They fired him. And it was like, I don't know how I feel about that. So even the police, this is in Tampa, this happened in Tampa. So even the police officers were like, the department, they were just like, we don't think this, somebody there, I don't know if it's I don't know what officers have, but there's a group of people in Tampa that do have some say so, that don't stand behind the decision to fire him. We're saying it because it wasn't even malicious, but he was just like, you're going to jail today, my nigga.
It's a colloquialism, and this is my culture. I should be able to use the word.
Yeah. So I thought it was a white person, and it was like, okay, well, that makes sense. But no, he was black, and it was like, so you fired a black police officer because he's that nigga in his cultural context, like we talked about culture and how it flows. And I heard the audio of it, and he was like, you're going to jail today, my nigga. Because it's kind of just like, bro, look, it kind of.
He used the colloquialism at the wrong fucking time.
They fired him for that. I was like, white people.
Idiot.
All right. My rant, the quick summary of it is I had somebody basically tell me not to, like 2 days ago or whatever, basically just insinuate that I'm a bad mother. I'm not raising my child. I'm not being intentional. So my daughter's dad is not doing it either. My kid is having, like, you know, behavioral issues, which seem normal enough for an 8-year-old, but it is, she's acting up. So I called my daughter's dad. I gave him a whole speech about how, yo, we gotta, you know, buckle down on me and me over here acting up. And he was like, I told you, da, da, da. And so, you know, me and him devised a plan about what we're gonna do. He came to get her, and he and I had a talk with her. We had like a little family meeting, and we talked about her actions with her and why she's doing this, and, you know, the consequences for her actions. And me is just like, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, I bet, sis, you're gonna be real sorry soon, but whatever. So we had the talk, and then someone that I, you know, hold in high regard enough, they basically gave their opinion about my parenting and that I'm not raising my child and she's raising herself and da da da. So I immediately got defensive. And the whole point of this is whether this opinion was asked for, it wasn't, but whether it was asked for or not, I think there's a certain thing about hearing something about yourself that you don't care for, and your response being, well, you so too. Well, shit, you ain't good at being a parent either. Or that's not really the point. My response in it was, let me find a way to answer this. Because that's essentially constructive criticism.
Right.
And I have to be able to process that. I think if you got to be able to catch yourself when your decision is to go back and attack the person that is attacking you. That doesn't, then it just comes into who's going to make each other feel worse. Who's going to hurt who? Oh, well, you can't say I'm bad because you're bad at this. And it's like, you know what? You gave your opinion.
Yeah.
Question and move on with that. Something I always said to Micah, and Micah, you know, resonates with her, and I this too. It's just like when somebody says something to you that pisses you off. If someone calls me a hoe today, I wouldn't feel no ways. Ain't nothing hoe about me, at least not right now. Maybe later, maybe in a couple months. But right now, you know, there's nothing about me hoe-like at all. So when I hear something like that, it doesn't bother me. But things that resonate a little bit more, like maybe if you are a little bossy, maybe if you are, in my case, I felt like I was failing my kid. I felt like her acting out is a reflection of me. So I had already had the conversation with her dad, and I had already had the conversation with her, and then me and her and her dad had a conversation, and then someone came and sprinkled, oh, by the way, you're a bad mom. It's like, damn, bro. So I clearly feel like I'm failing in some type of way, which is why I was so ready to get defensive. But this whole self-assessing and learning how to process shit and take it, I said, okay, let's not get defensive. Let's not go the route of taking shots back. Let's go the route of thanking them for their unwarranted opinion, and telling them what you did in order to help make your kid, get back on the right path, and just going on about your day. Now, there is multiple things I could have said to this person that I've been doing my best not to. And the other part of that is their thing was, I'm just speaking my piece. And I was like, man, if I spoke my piece, how that's gonna go?
There be no peace.
How that's gonna go? Right. And I said to Micah, like, in an attempt to keep the peace, I don't speak my piece about whatever. And that whole situation trails off to something else. But it's just about hearing something from somebody, even if it is something that you asked for, or even if it is your friends coming to you telling you, you know what, Micah, you've been real snappy lately. I don't like that. You know what, Leah, I don't like the way you talk to me. Da, 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 da. Your response to somebody coming to you saying that, try your very best to listen to them, acknowledge their concerns or their opinion or whatever, and just keep it on that. Keep it on that. And let's talk about that. If you have something to then say as a rebuttal, the best approach isn't necessarily all the time, not all the time, to do it in that immediate moment, because then the whole message of whatever is happening gets overshadowed. The point you want to get across doesn't come, because now they're offended that you're attacking them, because you're offended that they're attacking you. And then no one wins. No one wins when the family feuds. So I think that's just something to say. I had to self-check myself, and I was very proud of myself for not blurting out, well, blah, 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 blah. I was not doing that, because whether I feel that way or not, that's not the point. A part of me feels like I got to buckle down on me. I got to tighten me up a little bit. So you know what? I'll take that L, and I'll just,
I'll do it.
I'll be quiet, and I'll do that. So it's just being able to accept when, not necessarily that you're wrong, because this is also in a situation where, when it comes to me and my parenting, I don't ask for opinions or look for whatever. I feel like I'm a great mom. So I had to sit there and ask myself that, why are you so defensive about this? And it's because of what I said. I feel like I do need to buckle down on her a little bit more, but I think I'm a great mom, and people are going to have this. So you have to find ways to not let that tear you down anyway. When Mia is not doing well with something, I'm in tears. Like, I'm in shambles. It's like, bro, I got to get my baby back together. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm failing her as a parent.
Right.
Somebody literally just kind of put salt in that open wound and like spread it around. To me, it's, but you have to, there's no point in two people whose emotions are riled up throwing stuff. It just becomes an argument. So you do the best you can, you process it. And I did a whole bunch of self-reflecting. Shout out to Stretch, because Stretch came and got me, and we went to Raj's birthday. Shout out to Raj, happy birthday, Raj. So that definitely got my mind off of it. But it's just about being able to process, criticism that isn't the best. And
everybody is not going to say the most favorable things about you.
And it's not easy to hear.
Talk to you, it's not. So when it happens, you can be defensed. You can be on the defense, because you don't want to hear that. To be real, I don't want to hear this is negative. Oh my God, me? Like, you're gonna do that because it's negative. And so at that point, you start thinking of how to fight back. Like, that is your instant initial response.
Right.
Okay, since we going there, but that is not, it's not healthy.
A healthy way.
It's not healthy.
That's
and
not a healthy way.
That's not what the fuck we talking about. So I'm talking to you. I'm gonna speak my piece, whether you're gonna like it or not, because some fucking people can't help it. And when they're done, you nod. You nod.
I did. Like, I'm sitting there like, here I go, Mike. I was literally like this. Trying to find a way to answer this.
Right.
That's exactly what I said. I'm trying to find a way to answer this without blurting out this, boom, 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 boom. And even with that relationship is fine. But there's things that I haven't talked about with this person that does get me. I'm quicker to get spicy. I feel like I just watch my mouth off rip of just doing it, because there's certain arguments I don't even care to have at this point. So I don't. So it's almost kind of like, bro, I already feel a certain kind of way about you. You out here talking about me the way I raised my motherfucking baby.
Yeah.
It took a lot. I think I did very well. And even after that, I thought a little bit more, and I almost had a talk with him. I almost called him up and had a talk with him a little bit after that. And I said, no, it's okay. Go drink or stretch. And I did, and it was fine. So that's the point. Just learn how to receive criticism, whether you like it or not. And I think every time you fight criticism with criticism of your own for the person, it I think it just reflects on you.
Oh, nowhere. You get nowhere.
Yeah, you get nowhere, and it reflects on you. And I guess I'm also an advocate for when you do feel a way about something, find a way to say it, because letting things pile up starts to affect your life in different ways. And you don't always notice it right away, but you notice it eventually, you know? And so that was why, because a part of the problem I felt like I was having with my kid, this is partially this person's problem. It's partially their fault for how I'm feeling about things that we're going through. So even still, I take responsibility for my actions. I take responsibility for my child. And all I thought about was, you know what, I'm not even dealing with this person right now. Let me just go make sure my jig is straight. Let me talk my baby since we got this baby, and let's figure out how we do it. And he and I are devising plans. And this is okay. It's a trail upon that. That was my minute. And this the final thing I say. Me and Mike could touch on it a little bit, but it's just about parenting and growing up and raising your kid. No, there's no handbook for it or whatever, and there's so many old people around us. You got me, I'm technically a friend with a kid. Mila's gonna have you beat by like a couple months, you know, like you got moms around you, you know. But this is your kid. This is your kid. This is your human that you made. You and Willie have the decision, all that. Don't let people overpower you with either their old way of thinking or their unwarranted opinions or the way they feel like you should be taking care of your kid. It's your kid.
Yeah.
Kid. And that's something, it's so hard because especially if it's somebody that you hold in high regard, you want to show them that you're doing the best you can. If they're gonna see you for something else, then you got, in certain parts, you got, you know what, call me what you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go take care of my kid. I'm not about to deal with this shit.
Yeah, how about you ain't gotta deal with it? Ain't your
I ain't gotta deal with it.
I'm
gonna do, thank you for your input. I'll work on my kid. Appreciate it. Check. So that's my thing to Micah. You know, you're gonna have this baby, and you're gonna have a lot of opinions, and you're gonna have a lot of say-sos. But like I tell all our friends when it come to us and our niggas, they come to us and our kids with our decisions. People gonna give their opinions, but you're gonna do what the fuck you want to do. So do what you want to do. And when it comes to your kid, there's no greater joy than making your little person. And no, you won't do everything perfect, and no, everything won't be exactly the way you want it to be or the way you envisioned it. But for the most part, I don't see any reason why Micah would turn her kid, her little girl, little boy, into like a fucking demon from hell. You know, like that's not the case. You know, give for her and Willie to be parents and raise their kids the way they want to. Older parents who give this advice, you were once the first time parent as well. And just try to remember how fucking annoying it was to you that people came and gave you all this unwarranted advice, or people came and kept trying to tell you how to take care of your kid. I don't think you like that. Nobody like that. So don't be that person.
It's one thing
that is worse.
It's one thing to be a village. I think a village and the way that village people raise children is very differently from the way someone comes to you and tells you how to do your job. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like a village thing is like, all right, well, we're noticing this. What are we gonna do about this? Because all of us in some way are in this child's life in this way. So what do we have to do? Tutoring with Mia. That was a very quick math thing. We did a couple of things, whatever. That was a village thing. Did I say to you, Leah, you don't know how to you should be doing? No, because that's not the the point is, how do we get the child to be in a better position?
And even more so, I think with people who do give their opinions or do come in a certain kind of way, Mia is a very touchy subject for me because that's my kid, right? So my defensiveness isn't like, my spiciness ain't at full Scotch bonnet potential when it comes to Mia, right? It's different. Like with the tutoring thing, I called Micah and I was just crying. I was like, bro, she's not doing well in math. I don't even know how to help her. Maybe I don't know how to explain it right, but I felt so bad that I felt like I was failing her. I wasn't helping her get through what she wants to get through. And if Mia's not okay, I'm not okay. So then I found I can help me with ways, and then I found ways. I'm writing out math problems. I'm using my name, her dad's name. I'm using Micah's name. I'm using shit like LOL dolls. But I found a way to get through that hurdle with my kid in my own way. And and even Micah, yes, it's shout out to Micah for not telling me, Leah, you're a shitty parent. How you not teach your kid? But I also came to this crying. I came to her crying, bro. I feel so bad. Mia's just not doing well, bro. I feel like I'm failing it. And Micah's like, okay, bitch, it's okay. Breathe.
Yeah. No, it wasn't unwarranted. Yeah.
So why would you then like kick a bitch when she's down? And I'm just trying to figure out how to help my kid be better.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I think that's something too for people who feel like giving unwarranted advice. Gauge it sometimes. See what it may be. It doesn't have to just gauge it, bro. And then the other flip side of it is you can easily catch me on the wrong day and get cussed the fuck out. Like, bitch, I'm grown. So that's another side. Like, so just watch yourselves, watch your profanity, and all that. Well, Micah, it's been a pleasure. This was
girl.
You can just snip this. Everybody, please visit us at letitsaitforyou.com. Follow us at Let It Say It For You on IG, Let It Say It For on YouTube, and Let It Say It For You, just the you, on Twitter. Micah, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, girl. Birthday.
Say hello to the baby for me. I'll probably see you soon. Today is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day to all the Irish people. What is St. Patrick's Day? Does anybody know? What is it? You don't know?
I ain't Irish, so
I don't know.
It's a celebration of something.
Yeah, I know drinking happens, and they make it.
They don't even do that in Ireland.
So see, right? So that's like how we handle Cinco de Mayo. We be up here just fucking up people's holidays.
Yeah, they do not celebrate this shit. St. Patrick's Day, or the Feast of St. Patrick, is a cultural and religious celebration held on March 17th. The traditional death of St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. It's a commemoration of the arrival of the Christianity in Ireland.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
I hadn't the slightest clue.
Oh, wow. Me neither. Okay. Irish culture that takes place annually on the anniversary of the patron saint of Ireland's death in the 5th century.
I think I'm going to do an episode like that. I'm going to do an episode where we talk about the origin, things like where Valentine's Day came from, Christmas, all those things. I think that'd be fun. We'll make that an episode. All right. Well, thank you, Michael.
He brought Christianity.
Thank you, Mr. St. Patrick.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat. All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Leave comments, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys have a lovely week. Oh, Pisces season is almost over, but it's here. We got like 3 more days. March, I think, is the last day. We got like 2 more days. So all the Pisces, Liddy, gang. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful night. Goodbye. Okay. What I was saying to you, girl, you saw Paige's thing?
Yes.